Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially Black Diamond AFL.
A massive thank you to all of their sponsors.
BLK, the major sponsor and official apparel supplier of Black Diamond AFL. BLK, beyond limits known.
Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment.
GE Industrial Solutions, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers for the past 50 years.
Wilson Security, Australia's largest and most innovative security provider.
Pullman Magenta Shores Resort, an exceptional 5-star resort set on 52 acres on the New South Wales Central Coast.
Prime 7 coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday afternoon.
Star 104.5, the home of Rabbit and Julie Goodwin, playing more music variety.
The Entertainment Grounds, one of the Central Coast's premier events locations.
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery, the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast.
And Subway Morisset. Subway, eat fresh.
And remember to tune in to our Brekkie Show 6 till 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from Dick Bell Oval and Nelson Bay for this Wilson Security Bar TV match of the round between Nelson Bay, the hosts, and Terrigal Avoca, the visitors. My name's David Redden. I'm with you with our chief commentator, Gary Birkinshaw, today from Nelson Bay's ground, which is in very good nick considering the weather that we've had in the last 12 hours and are going to have in the next 24 on the east coast of Australia. Looking forward to a very good game of football today. Team sheets for you. The away side, Terrigal Avoca. Number 1, Matt Shortall. 2, Jack Grimman. 3, James Webster. 4, Austin Clark. 6, Ryan Webster. 7, Braden Kingston. 9, Jay Lewis. 11, Alexander White. 12, Corey Billins. 13, James Hart. 14, Ryan Shaw. 15, Andrew Clark. 16, Brandon Sarich. 17, Jared Warren. 19, Damon Smith. 20, Dale Walker. 21, Doug Clark. 22, Corbin Bond. 24, Jackson Farquhar. 27, Mitch Betson. 28, Chris Bishop, the coach, and also number 30, the Elite DAFL medalist, Angus Darling. For Nelson Bay, number 1, Nathan Vasey. 2, Jeremy Eddy. 5, Luke Price. 6, Dylan Stewart. 7, Tim Duval and skipper. 9, Joel Erickson. 10, Aaron Clayton. 11, Luke Bell. 12, David Wood. 13, Chris Eddy. 14, Jaden Reimer. 15, Ryan Mudd. 19, Dan Morgan. 25, Billy Barton. 28, Harry Yule. 29, Ben Grace. Number 30, Louis Jews. 31, Matthew Jews. 32, Tom Wood. 33, Scott Yule. And number 69 is Greg Smith. Our field umpires, Darryl Luckmack, Matt Howarth and Harrison Crook. Our boundary umpires, Lincoln and Simon McCauley. And our goal umpires, Paul Best and John Sullivan. Looking forward to a very good game of football here today. We've got a very special interview coming up with you very shortly with our chief commentator, Gary Birkinshaw. Football could get underway in a couple of minutes' time here. While we're waiting for Gary, just some very quick run-throughs of scores in other games played earlier today. In the women's division, there were wins to Wyong Lakes, Gosford, Cardiff and Newcastle City postponed at Newcastle number 1. Maitland in a tight one over Kalari Vale and Nelson Bay over Singleton. Final scores in second division, we've got Warners Bay defeating Wyong Lakes by 29 points. Here at Nelson Bay, their entrance Batto Bay continued on with their very good form, defeating Nelson Bay by 54 and Newcastle City up by 124 points over Gosford at Adcock Park. As I said, just waiting for an very important interview for you with Gary Birkinshaw very shortly, and he'll be be speaking with Doris Glasson very shortly. Doris Glasson's the lady that designed the Nelson Bay Indigenous jumpers. Our major sponsors of Bar TV are BLK, the Belmont 16 Footers Club, GE Industrial Solutions, Wilson Security, Pullman Magenta Shores Resort, Prime 7, Star 105.4.5 FM, the entertainment grounds in the Central Coast, Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery, and Subway Morisset. As I said, we're just getting some technical issues sorted out here and hope to be with you very shortly.
Rightio, joining me now is Doris Glasson, the designer of the fantastic Nelson Bay Indigenous jumper. Doris, welcome to the coverage.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
What was the design, the motivation behind the design?
My friend asked me to design the jumpers, and it was about a marlin, and I thought, well, there's a group of the it's a group of men coming together with the marlins, so that's what it's all about. It's a celebration. So and the colours were the colours of the water, and it just means men, the men around there. So yeah.
How long did it take you to do the design?
A week, yes. To do the whole painting, yes.
Look, they look fantastic, both here for the women and also the men. And we're about to get underway here. So, Doris, thanks very much for that fantastic design. You've done very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
And now we'll hand back up to Dave.
Thank you very much, Gary and Doris. Looking for terrific work, and the jumpers are a real credit to Doris. They look superb, the Nelson Bay Indigenous jumpers. We're just about ready to go here at Dick Bell Oval in Nelson Bay for the start of this extremely important game here today in round 9 of the Black Diamond Australian Football League. Just about ready to hand over to our chief commentator, Gary Birkinshaw. And we'll do so now. Gary, great work, and looking forward to a big game today, Gary.
Yeah, thanks very much, Dave. Fantastic to have Doris down there. She was a little bit nervous on the talk. We did better with the first take, but look, the jumpers look absolutely superb. They wore them last week, wearing them again today. And also joining me here today, we've got another special guest, another special commentator, Alex Coburn. Alex, welcome to the coverage.
Good afternoon, Gary. How you going?
Good. Alex is going to do us a bit of play-by-play commentary. Also got Dave Redden there, who's special commentary. So, look, Dave, you've gone through the sides. Who you tip?
Terrigal Avoca, 20 points.
Good on you. So we're in the middle there. Billy Barton against Darling. No one gets a clear tap out. It's tackled there. And that is Jeremy Eddy. Great to see him back from his Bali sojourn. And Alex, you're out there umpiring the previous game. What are the conditions like?
Mate, the conditions are very sloppy underfoot. Not so bad compared to other grounds around the lope, but it's going to be your boots and handball sort of day today.
Beautiful, thanks, Alex. So handball comes out there. Overrun, that was Eddie. Jay Lewis picks it up. We see just straight away the bit of the sloppy conditions. Goes through the hands of Chris Bishop, the veteran. He kicks it off the ground. It should allow Tim DeVarling, the skipper for Nelson Bay. He picks it up on the right boot, goes out wide, and finds out there is Morgan on the wing for Nelson Bay. Got Reimer there long if he can get that far. Slippery condition. Ball's not going to go as far. So Morgan gets there. Reimer's going to be his target. He goes out there, takes him out. Loose marking there by the Panthers. A key player, Dave, Reimer for Nelson Bay.
Absolutely is, and he needs to have a very big day if there to be a chance today, Gary.
And so does this bloke. Price gets it, swings around on the left boot. Is this the start the Marlins are looking for? Just through from behind. Dangerous start there, Alex.
Very dangerous start, and if the Panthers can kick away, if they can improve their structures on last week, it's going to be a very difficult task for the Marlins today.
Certainly a change of the sides, Dave. You mentioned earlier now going through the teams with a big turnover of players.
Again, yes, Nelson Bay have got five out from last week, Gary, so more changes for them.
Bishop comes in there, Barton picks it up. Good to see him back out there after missing the second half of last week's game. Very influential to Ruckman. Goes down to Webster. He's always influential. Handball comes to Grimman. Grimman on the right boot under pressure. Good stretch out there that time by Yule. Harry Yule gets it. Goes back there. Keeps working hard under pressure coming from Betson. His ball sits out the back. Picked up there in a good sweeping handball. Well done there by Ryan Mudd. Good to see him back as well. He gets a handball back to Stewart. He normally uses the ball very well, and he does there. And he finds out there is Luke Bell. Handball's over the top. It comes to Ericsson. Handball, another further one to Morgan. Doesn't quite get him there. The handballs just didn't find their marks last week, but goes back this time. That's better. DeVale's got it. Has a bit of time, but that's a poor kick. Well, Billings can't take the mark. Going to be a few of those, I would have thought, in the conditions that we've had today. Barton now picks it up, goes to ground, allows Jay Lewis in for Terrigal. Back to Bishop, back to Billings. Some class in that trio there, but that's not a good kick by Corey Billings. Probably the one thing, Dave, that probably lets him down, Corey Billings, is his field kicking.
That's exactly right. He's terrific close to ground, really solid over the ball, but his disposal lets himself down at occasions. And I think DeVal is lined up as a spare man in defence. There's either Stewart or DeVal playing back here in the arc, and one of them's free at all times.
But I think the only trouble I can see with that, Dave, is that if the free man for Terrigal Avoca is going to be Jay Lewis, I think Jay Lewis are probably going to win that battle.
Definitely, and if Terrigal Avoca start working on their structures, it's going to be very hard for Nelson Bay to get in the way of that.
So it's Vasey now. So Vasey's in the set, goes through half full. Look at pass. That's a pretty good kick. Jeremy Eddy in there. Going to be a free kick for in the back. He didn't take the mark. I mentioned before how good it is to have Jeremy Eddy back in the side. He's been a goal kicker for the Marlins this year, which is, as a small forward, he's like gold. And he's going to go back and have the first shot on goal for himself today and looking to kick the first goal.
He's one of their prime movers, isn't he? He's one of their best players.
Comes in, strikes the ball pretty good off the boot. That's what the Marlins need. They need to come from in front, Alex.
And that's it, and the goal umpire signals 6 points, and that is the major. So Marlins need to make as much territory as they can early on in the game, because Terrigal have got the legs to last the whole 4 quarters.
BLK is the major sponsor of the Black Diamond AFL, as well as being the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, the Western Bulldogs, the GWS Giants, the Adelaide Crows, the Gold Coast Suns and the Brisbane Lions. BLK, Gary, beyond limits known.
Yes, major sponsor of the Black Diamond AFL. Great to have them on board. And on the board, exactly where we're at the moment with Nelson Bay.
If they can go blow for blow with Panthers in the early stages of the game, they're going to be setting themselves up really well today.
Certainly, I think they just got to stay with them. That's probably the key part of today's game.
Well, if structures let them down last week, if they can improve on that, they're going to be in a really good stead.
So umpire Darryl Luck, umpires, they field umpires. We've got Darryl Luck, Matt Howarth and Harrison Crook. Go on you, David. Provide me with a pen, mate. You're my stationary man. Special comments, you're everything. Keep me under control. As Darling picks it up for Terrigal Avoca. On the right boot he goes. Over the head there, that time of Doug Clark. He picks it up on the left boot. Tackle there as he gets rid of it. It's going to allow DeVal to get in there. And on the right boot, he's had 3 or 4 good bits of play today. Tim DeVal, he's found running at 100% efficiency with off boot, which is good. So Morgan goes back to Stewart. Got Ben Grace back further. Going to come into a dangerous area through the centre of the ground, looking for DeVal. It's a good kick by Stewart and finds DeVal. Well done by Tim DeVal. He certainly started very well, the skipper from Nelson Bay. And another good left foot kick there. Comes in and finds there is Chris Eddy. So Chris Eddy right, but goes in the centre of the ground. A lead comes in there. It's not going to quite find target there in Scott Yules. Allows Jay Lewis to pick it up. He gets the handball. Back it comes to Corey Billings. Kick in there looking for Mitch Betson. Great to see him back from the knee reconstruction. He's 3 games in now. Austin Clark, the 15-year-old, gets a hurry kick in there, but once again it's DeVal across our back. Maybe something that Chris Bishop's going to need to look at there. He's manning him up.
If he stays loose, he can do some damage back there. He's got very good skills, as you've alluded to earlier, Gary.
So Jeremy Eddy's got the ball now for Nelson Bay on the centre wing. 7 points the margin at the moment. 1-1, get the score. Scotty Yules the target there. Over the back, it's going to go Clayton. Kicks it out of mid-air. It's smothered off the boots. Just sits in there. Jimmy Webster's going to go back and pick it up. Out of bounds for a boundary throw. Aaron Clayton, he's got his arms out for what I'm not exactly sure what he's looking for there.
Perhaps deliberate, but he'll be unrewarded today.
If he pays that for deliberate, I think that'd be pretty harsh, isn't it?
Well, as an umpire, I'd say so, Gary.
What do you pay?
I'd say just to throw it in, mate.
No, you wouldn't, mate. You would have paid deliberate. Come on, let's be realistic.
I'm a disgrace to the umpiring, mate.
No, I didn't say that. Holding the ball there. Aaron Clayton put it on the ground. Free kick's going to go to Jared Warren. He handballs it off quickly to Jay Lewis. At the moment, it's a Jay Lewis versus Tim DeVal. Across our back, his kick goes in short. Chris Eddy can't take the mark. Ryan Mudd picks it up, overruns it. It allows Jeremy Eddy to come back in there. Oh, sorry, his brother there, Chris. My apologies there. But kick only goes as far as Jay Lewis. Looks for Webster. Back it comes now to Warren. On the right boot he goes. 2 against 1 there. Grimond there against Eddy and also Jews. But Betson roused the ball to run through to him. His handball backs to Lewis. He's going to be immediately under pressure, but gets a handball to Ryan Webster. A hurry kick on the right boot. Good spoil by Stewart there on Jack Grimond.
And it's going to be so important for Stewart to have a better game than last week. Last week he was too loose on Jimmy Newburn, and he was no match for him. He had, I think, 2 or 3 goals kicked on him. Today he's looking the goods.
It's on Macaulay.
Okay, so Macaulay winds up for the throw, and fairly loose contest there. No one's won it on the ground. And one out by the Panthers. Comes out. And well recovered by Nelson Bay across half-back flank. And he gets a free for holding the man, umpire Matt Howarth.
That could almost have been 50, actually. He's disposed of that a long time after the whistle went.
I'll go to a resident umpire there. What do you think?
Look, I mean, I'm comfortable with that decision. He's played that the way he's seen it, and other than that, he was probably in the best position to make a decision there.
Gee, not even about that, Dave. We've got a pro umpire up here now. How are we going to be able to give him stick? We've got an umpire up here.
Well, I'll reflect on myself at least.
Good work there. Ryan Mudd, right boot, he goes out to a half-forward flank, over the head of Scotty Ewell. He's racing there. Good shepherd applied there by Matty Jews. But pressure there, forced out. Well done by Corbin Bond, a good player for Terrigal Avoca over the last few weeks. Aaron Clayton kicks to a dangerous area. Luke Bell comes there. Barton's doing the roving, but Warren's going to get the handball out. Darling and Terrigal Avoca clear the ball away. Betson down there in a one-on-one. Good spoil by Duval. Austin Clark, great tackle by Duval. Good decision by Darryl Luck, allowed to go. Betson has a fresh air, holding the ball. Dave Redden's taken over as umpire as well. He's even signalled holding the ball up here in the commentary box.
Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, especially when one of them's the umpire.
The first tackle was a cracking tackle because he was gone downfield if he hadn't made it.
I like the gone too, mate. That's really good emotion behind all that as well. Not the greatest kick there as it comes in, picked up by Warren. Handball out to Webster. Pinpoint pass there, and it's Andrew Clark takes the mark for Terrigal Avoca, one of the new guys for the Panthers. Inboard to Webster.
I think Jimmy will shine today in these conditions, Gary.
Spoke to him earlier on. About the weather. He's not even putting sunscreen on most of the year as being a redhead. But Kingston's going there, gets a handball out. A quick handball onto Bishop on his right boot, going back there. Can't take the mark as short or good spoil by Stewart. He snaps around the body.
That's a major.
Wow. Early in the call. Have we gone off early there with the call? But great snap there by Matt Shortle. We got that one on replay. See what Isaac's doing there. He's working his magic over here.
Well, Chris Bishop, no old stager, is he?
No, he's not. That was he was right on the end on the line, and they're reasonably deep pockets here at Dick Bell Oval. So that's a terrific snap and went straight over the goal higher's hat.
Yeah, we just have a quick look at it here as it comes in a right, but it comes by work come there. It's going to be a kick coming in from Bishop there, and it goes there to Shortley. Had a bit of work to do. Good spoil there by Dylan Stewart. Then snaps it over his shoulder. I reckon the angle was so tight there. I'm surprised the ball didn't get stuck, Dave.
Yes, Gary.
So Matt Shortle, first goal on the board for the Panthers. That's 1 point margin. Nelson Bay, 10 minutes in as Bishop on the left would certainly suit these conditions. Will suit the coach of Terrigal Avoca. It slows them right down to his pace. There's David Wood on the right boot. He goes. He swings out wide to Ericsson. He's free out there. He's got plenty of space in front of him. He takes the mark. Oh, hang on. We just umpire has gone down. Harrison Crook has just gone down there.
Harrison Crook is on his haunches.
The
he should be okay.
I think
and he's receiving medical attention from the Terrigal trainer.
It's going to be still there. Alex might be called back into play for a second gig.
Well, let's hope not. Anyway, I'm buggered after the first round.
Yeah, I know, but gives us a bit of leeway. Gives us some leeway up here. Let me tell you, Alex. After we'll be able to give you plenty.
Well, probably well deserved as well, Gary.
That's just got a break in play there, so he's going to go down and like the coaches do there. Darryl's taken over the coach. He's sent him down to the forward pocket just to have a bit of a spell. You know, while we try and assess and see how it goes.
Well, it's a bit of a curse of Dick Burwell over because Chris Barrows went down in round 1 of the season.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the umpires.
Lucky ground.
Don't know what's wrong with the umpires. As Webster takes a good strong mark. Harrison's moving pretty steady. He's not moving at all there at the moment.
Needs a few more wheat picks tomorrow, I'd say.
Yeah. So as Webster. Right bit goes along there. Good lead coming out from Shortle on the lead. Kicked a miraculous goal. He takes a mark on the chest there now. Where's the next target going to be? Clark's attack coming out there. Well done. Well read there by David Wood. Takes a strong mark for the Marlins between fullback and centre half back. He goes out wide. Good kick coming out there. Price, mate, takes the mark on centre wing.
He timed his time off to come off the bench there perfectly. Just ran straight off onto the ball.
So Price goes long. Ryman's going to be his target. Good use of the body there by Warren. Little boot there, gets a handball back to Darling. Short kick to Webster. He'll look to handball off to Bishop. Bishop on the left boot, a little short kick there to Kingston. Goes up and takes the mark. So Kingston on centre wing. Betson's going to be his target. Sits up there. Well, good bodied out there by Stewart. Comes down Rhodes. The ball gets a one-handed throw. Lucky to get away with that one. Stewart on the left boot, however. Ryman's going to be his target. Up he goes. Takes a strong mark in front of Kingston.
Ryman's hands have been a feature early. He's taken 2 very good marks with a wet footy.
How good the conditions. Might as well be dry just without the sun there. You know what, the way they're handling the ball, it's only when the ball hits the ground you see it skid is that you would know that it's wet.
Absolutely. The ground's really improved since the second division game earlier on, and I'm impressed at how little time the ball spent on the ground.
So you saying you soaked up all the water, is that what you're saying, Alex?
Well, I'd say I might have done there, Gary.
So his opponent's over the back there by Barton. Warren's in there for Terrigal. Avoca comes out the back there. Warren keeps his feet, gets a quick handball to Webster. He's been very active early. They're going to ground. That time was Vasey in Billings. Couple of young guns in, young tyros in there, and Vasey and Billings. Vasey, well done there. His handball goes astray and finds Shaw from Terrigal Avoca. He kicks it down there. Alexander White with Wood. That's a good battle. Speaking of good battle of youngsters.
And the umpire is going to ball that up. Now, I'd say it was fairly marginal about a ball up or in the back, but the umpire paying the lesser of the two, and that'll be a good contest on centre half forward. So, Nelson Bay held there. No free kick paid. And he's done well to get that one out.
Darling comes in for Terrigal Avoca, gets it back now to Warren. Warren on the right boot. Ben Grace drops a mark he should have taken. It's going to allow Austin Clark in there now. Also good pick up by Shaw in these conditions. Should have been a high tackle. It is. Advantage called to Grimmin. The right boot he goes. Should find Ryan Webster down there on his own. Takes a mark in the forward pocket. Good umpiring there by Matt Howarth. Allowed the play to go on, and Webster found himself in open space. He's going to go back, have a shot on goal to kick the second goal for the Panthers. 13 minutes into the first quarter.
Very good position to go 1 goal up here, Gary.
So Webster. Wind howling through there. Right boot strikes the ball. He's pretty happy about that. Pretty good shot at goal is Ryan Webster, and Terrigal Avoca. The 14 minutes gone in the first quarter have kicked their second goal and taken the lead.
Belmont 16 Footers Sailing Club is located on picturesque Lake Macquarie. Belmont 16 is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotion, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook. The home of the Black Diamond AFL, Gary?
They certainly are the home. Great venue. Great supporters of the Black Diamond AFL. And look, that was pretty good play. They're very efficient ball use going in by Terrigal Avoca and Ryan Webster there. And it's just interesting, look at the goal score. Ryan Webster's still on his own right now. And the goal score on his own. Ben Grace is going back there now. And it was just a costly mistake in the centre of the ground. Can't be too critical on the players today in these weather conditions, but it was a drop mark out on the wing that enabled Terrigal Avoca to get that goal and ball movement there as Kingston handballs it back now to Darling. The big fellow looked pretty good on the ground as well. Picked up by Duval. One-handed handball there. He's going to be penalised for holding the ball. And the free kick goes to Shortall. Matt Shortall. Bishop's gone off down here, Dave.
Yes, he has. I'm hopeful. Hope he hasn't reached that calf.
Betson. Strong mark by Betson. Yeah, he's actually just going there to get a rub on the carpet. That's a good grab by Mitch Betson there. Just thought he was out of position, but just the long arms was able to take the mark. Very, very windy at the moment. I'm not sure if it's favouring anything. You're our meteorologist, Dave. What do you think?
I honestly think it's almost coming straight across the ground. I reckon it's coming towards us from the sea. So looking at that, I'm not sure if anyone's got a big advantage. If anyone, Terrigal.
Are you guessing, or do you think that's true?
I'll back myself.
I think you might be guessing, Gary.
Now listen, you've only been here 5 minutes. You can't sledge me like that. He can. You just be careful, Junior.
Mitch Betson, tell you what, he's not joking. Anyway, he's put that ball straight through the middle, and the ball looked like it went from left to right, which is probably from the ocean. So you're probably right there, Dave. Well done. So first goal on the board to Mitch Betson, but it's 3 goals on the trot now for Terrigal Avoca, and they've taken it out now to an 11-point lead.
GE Industrial Solutions have been partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the past 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Also proud sponsor of the BDAFL women's competition.
Just on Betson there, he had a fantastic game last week with 3 goals against Newcastle City. He was the only real scoring outlet for the Panthers, so he's going to need another big game this week.
Yeah, good to see him. He was in the peak of his form when he went down last year with a knee injury, arguably the best marking forward in the competition. So
absolutely.
12 months off the game, he's come back and he's slowly but surely getting that confidence back. So the ruckman do battle. Barton, no one got a clear grab there. Jeremy Eddy gets a quick kick there by Farquhar. Terrigal Avoca winning the clearances at the moment. Webster comes out. That's Ryan Webster, but it falls in the hands of Harry Ewell. Harry Ewell on the right boot goes there. Good use of the body there. Almost taking the mark that time was Dale Walker. Got the numbers there. Puts his head over the ball there. No free kick paid. It was the right decision there. So Walker gets a hurry kick. Outcome there again, and a mark is taken down there by Andrew Clark. They're just too loose at the moment, the Nelson Bay defence.
Well, I would have said probably 5 minutes ago their half-back defence has been fantastic, but at the moment they're just coming off their marks, and that's opening up the scoring opportunities for Terrigal Avoca.
Yeah, they're doing well, but they're playing pretty loose there. That's the trouble. They need to man up when the ball's coming in like that. So that's a nice shot at goal. It's going to go right at the top of the square. Price goes up there, punches the ball away from Betson. Picked up there and tackled there. There's a big tackle put on there on Ryan Mudd. He's a little slow getting up there. Tackles by Betson, but the ball's forced through for a behind. So 3-1-19, Terrigal Avoca, 1-1-7 Nelson Bay. The Marlins kicked the first goal. Terrigal responded with 3 of their own. 17.5 minutes gone in the first quarter at Dick Burwell Oval as Reimer picks it up. Handballs it inboard to Price. They had a couple of prime moves. They need to go well. Left boot goes out wide. Jeremy Eddy takes a good mark there in front of Corbin Bond. He plays on quickly. Not his greatest kick though. Then Jimmy Hart's going to intercept for Terrigal Avoca, the reliable representative defender. Sees the ball over the line for a boundary throw in between wing and half forward. Nelson Bay's end of the ground.
Nelson Bay actually need to get the ball into their 50 metre arc and kick a goal before the end of the quarter. We're 18 minutes in. They really need to get back on the scoreboard, Gary. Get some football.
I hope it goes there. Corbin Bond goes back there now to Barton. Kicked off the ground by Jews. Eddie gets a tap there. Couldn't really been a throw with a bit of a scoop. Going in hard there was Bell. Clayton goes in there trying to get him, so he sweeps it out wide. Ben Grace out there with Shortle holding them all. Free kick's going to go the way of Shortle.
Short will start in the first quarter, Gary. He's getting a lot of touches.
Been very good. One of the new players for Terrigal Avoca come up through the lower ranks as Webster in short there and finding Damon Smith.
It's good work working it across halfback and then to the centre of the ground, taking their time, not being rushed at all as they go to centre half forward.
This is where the problem lies, and I'll kind of comment on something in a minute. I just saw the kick comes in there. Webster and Betson, they spoil it, and both of them could have took the mark. Betson goes to ground there, taps it out there to Grimmin. Grimmin gets there immediately tackled by Wood. Going there is Price, puts his body on the line, fantastic. Tap out the back there to Vale. Another tap comes out there, going to allow Austin Clark. He gets a quick handball back to Bishop, goes further back to Kingston. On the right boot he goes, looks for Jay Lewis, can't take the mark, but it runs a little bit further there to Doug Clark. Nelson Bay got the number, Duval over, runs it, handballs back. Austin Clark snaps it a goal, no touch off the boot. Through for behind. One thing I'm going to mention, I just had a look a minute ago from the setup at Nelson Bay, and what they're actually doing, they're zoning off. And Tim Duval would have been, he picked up a lot of possessions, Tim Duval, in the first quarter, but he would have been giving Austin Clark 5 metres. And you just can't be giving that if you're not winning the ball through the centre.
Absolutely. I mean, in wet weather footy, it's so important to keep your man. And if you're going to tag, as they slot one through for a goal there, and Terrigal are now up to 26, leading Nelson Bay 7.
That's been a problem from Nelson Bay. Every game we've seen, it's their kick-in. They're unable to get the ball clearly from a kick-in, and they go in short down the middle of the ground, didn't find its target over the back, and Chris Bishop, the coach, he doesn't need a second invitation, and he snaps one straight through, so it's all Terrigal Avoca at the moment. 4-26, leading Nelson Bay 1-1-7, Dave.
Yes, Gary. Chris Bishop's actually snapped that off balance on his non-dominant side, so he's kicked that right-footed. So that's a terrific goal, and further emphasises the dominance that Terrigal have had in the second part of this first quarter.
But they need not winning the ball instead. They need to be a lot tighter down back, Alex.
Well, I agree with that. And just speaking of kick-outs from the point, it's so important for Nelson Bay to be chipping it around the back line and the half-back line, rather than doing searching kicks out to the half-back flank. Because they've really got no control over that.
Ruckman do battle again. Barton, but straight down to Webster. He's had plenty of it in the first quarter as well. Duval goes back this time, taking their Woods, tackled immediately by Bishop. Walker gets a kick. Webster comes out there against Grace. Shaw's there, overruns the ball. Grace there. Erickson back to give him a hand. A strong tackle by Betson. No, that's a poor decision, Alex. That is a very, very poor decision. There was absolutely zero prior opportunity for that. You can't just take the ball when you're 15 metres out from goal and be giving free kicks like that.
Well, I absolutely cannot comment on that there, Gary. But in any case, if there's no prior opportunity, it should be a ball up. I'll give umpire Harrison Crook the benefit there, and that will be a point to Panthers.
I can comment on it. I'm quite certain that he had absolutely no prior. It should have been a ball up, point blank.
Yeah. I just when it ends up in that opportunity that's 15 metres out from goal, results on a goal scoring opportunity, which Mitch Betson's actually missed. He should have actually converted from there, but it's just a high penalty to play for a free kick that probably wasn't really warranted there.
Look, I'll say this much. It's very hard to pay a 50-50 free that could result in a goal.
Thank you. So Stewart goes out wide now. He's now got him for...
Out the square, has he,
Yeah.
Gary?
Yep, it's going to be a ball up at the top of the square. Not going well at all for the Marlins.
Well, that's just lazy football. I mean, that's careless, and he should have just had some awareness of where he was. And as a result, he could be going back to concede a goal here.
Yeah. That's a bit like, I reckon that's, Dave, you're a cricket fanatic like myself. That's like bowling no balls. Why do you need to be that close to the line?
You just don't. You set your plan foot at least a foot inside the line. No problems, Gary.
All right, Basey, they're going to clear it out now. Reimer gets it good back there on the left boot to Val. Jews overruns the ball. It's going to allow Jared Warren to come in for Terrigal Avoca. He gets a short kick over there. Harry Yule's going to intercept for Nelson Bay. Can the Marlins get a goal?
Gone.
That's holding the ball. I've got no problem at all with that one, Dave. Oh, no,
Gone,
high tackle.
gone,
No,
gone.
high tackle. He's got
Was
him
it
for a high tackle.
Okay,
Yep.
interesting.
Yep. So Scotty Yule there. They love a goal before quarter time. Dave, currently trailing by 20 points.
Very important they get one, Gary. I would have thought very.
Scotty Yule goes out wide. Ericsson's going to be his target. 2 against 1 though. A lot of work to do for Ericsson. He's up against Farquhar. Shaw's there to give him a hand as well. But Jackson Farquhar's going to handball inside to Walker. Walker on the right boot, but his kick's going to be intercepted. Taken there by Ben Grace. And the halfback flank, the veteran former skipper for the Marlins. Going to bring the ball up towards centre wing. Bell's going to be taken home. Goes for it. Was Bell's target. Morgan was there also with him. Back is Webster as well. Morgan now picks it up. He's immediately tackled by Shaw. Going to be a ball up right out on centre wing, far side of the ground. 20 points of margin for over Terrigal Avoca at the moment, and the big wet hasn't arrived in Nelson Bay as yet.
Fingers crossed anyway, Gary.
Barton, a good big fist there, but should fall for Billings. No, he overruns the ball. Going to allow Warren to come back in there. Luke Bell's in there also. A quick handball by Reimer to Price. On the left boot he goes. Eddie's going to be his target. Going in there also. Oh, good use of the body that time there by Warren. But it's going to sit for Eddie if it does. Reimer handballs out to Scotty Yule on the left boot. Snaps around the body just for a point. Could have done that. Could have done with that for a goal.
That would have been fantastic. That would have been a red time goal, as we've discussed in previous weeks, Gary. So, unfortunate for the Marlins there.
The Marlins cannot afford to go to the first break about 5 kicks down. That's going to be really disastrous for them later in the game. They need to be kicking the next goal of this game.
So they go wide. Brilliant. It sits up there for Ericsson. Fumbles once, fumbles twice. It allows Walker to come in there. Ericsson goes back in hard again. Shaw's there also for Terrigal Avoca. Need to get a clear Barton. He tries to work one out. Have a ball up. So right at the half-forward flank.
Around 30 seconds to go. You'd think the Marlins are the only ones that can probably score from here, unless there's some really quick work out of the pack by the Panthers.
Right,
and there's not.
Kick comes out there. How's it going to sit there? Overrunning that one was Smith, and the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw on the other side of the ground. 19 points the difference at the moment. Favourite Terrigal Avoca. First goal of the game went to Nelson Bay. Terrigal Avoca. And the siren sounds for quarter time. And at quarter time, it's Terrigal Avoca. 4-3-27. Leading Nelson Bay 1-2-8.
Goal kickers. Terrigal Avoca have 4 individual goal kickers. Matthew Shortall, Ryan Webster, Mitch Betson and Chris Bishop. And the solitary goal kicker for Nelson Bay is Jeremy Eddy, gentlemen.
Yeah, so Alex, so it's a good start by Nelson Bay, but Terrigal Avoca certainly dominated the back half of the quarter.
Well, I agree with that, Gary. And as I said, their structure in the first 10 minutes was much improved on last week. Last week they were really struggling to string plays together. This week they were really good across, especially across half back. But they seem to have let that style slip a little bit, and as a result, Terrigal started to kick away.
Yeah, very good summation there. So it's quarter time here at the moment. Terrigal Avoca leading by 19 points. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the second quarter.
G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially Black Diamond AFL.
A massive thank you to all of their sponsors.
BLK, the major sponsor and official apparel supplier of Black Diamond AFL. BLK, beyond limits known.
Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment.
GE Industrial Solutions, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers for the past past 50 years.
Wilson Security, Australia's largest and most innovative security provider.
Pullman Magenta Shores Resort, an exceptional 5-star resort set on 52 acres on the New South Wales Central Coast.
Prime 7 coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday afternoon.
Star 104.5, the home of Rabbit and Julie Goodwin, playing more music variety.
The Entertainment Grounds, one of the Central Coast's premier events locations.
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery, the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast.
And Subway Morisset. Subway, eat fresh.
And remember to tune in to our Brekkie Show 6 till 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Just about underway here in the second quarter. Over to our chief commentator, Gary Birkinshaw.
Yeah, just down there, and you're right, the wind is coming from the water, so good call there. I just spoke to the umpire there, is Harrison Crook. He's just down there getting his ankle tape at the moment. I said if he was all right, and Alex, he said, mate, Miles will be on one leg. He said, I'm better umpire than you, mate, he said. So
I have to agree with him, to be honest, Gary, but I'm very relieved as well. Glad he's okay.
Good on him. He didn't say that at all. I just made that up, but it was good for TV, though, Dave, wasn't it, eh?
Yes, Gary.
As the second quarter, I went out to Nelson Bay Huddle. I'll just have a quick... you want to get a break in play what they were going, but they're pretty upbeat. It's Barton. Down there goes, a kick over the head. It's going to work out all right. Good work by Eddie. Overrun that time by Ericsson. Taps out there to Reimer. Goes inboard one way or another. Left boot, he goes towards goal. This should go for Price at the back.
Oh, great mark there by Price on full forward.
The timekeeper for Nelson Bay, he was ecstatic. Cole, he gave that a very little clap, silent clap, but Price kicks
Slots
the first
straight away.
first goal. That's important for the Marlins. A good build-up. And Luke Price kicks his first goal.
Thank you, Gary. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider, delivering a wide range of services to a diverse range of customers. For all your security needs, call Wilson Security on 1-300-WILSON.
Yeah, so they're pretty upbeat out there. Sean McGrath was very good. He said, we just got caught out a couple of times on a few little errors and the ball dropped a little bit short, and we spoke about being able to be quicker to react in the defensive when the ball turns over, and he's very confident. He reckons they're kicking with the wind. I threw a bit of grass, I reckon it's going straight across the ground, but it's whatever you tell your players it counts. If they believe it and they started straight away, that ball just carried a little bit further there, and Luke Price took a good grab over Jimmy Hart, so it was just the start they needed. A couple more will be very handy.
Absolutely sensational work out the centre there by Reimer. He really set that up nicely.
Harrison Crook still getting taped.
2-umpire system for now.
Exactly. Oh, maybe that's the way of the future, Dave.
Make us redundant. Get more commentators.
No.
Oh, what? No, less umpires or more commentators. What are you saying? Holding the ball, free kick paid there, and Aaron Clayton. He'll go back. I reckon Aaron Clayton will believe there's a chance to kick this.
3-umpire system is a necessity at this level of football and above.
In all seriousness, I do agree with that, Dave. It's a very tough job being out there in a 2-umpire system in the top level.
Please. Someone's always got to go against them. That'll be me. But anyway, Aaron Clayton rights the ball, gives it up. The winner's going to go to the right price in the city. If it doesn't go too far, it does go too far. He'll nearly end up taking a chest mark. So, no, look, I have to agree with you. 3 umpires system works very well. Our game's getting quicker and faster. As long as all 3 umpires participate, Dave, at all times.
Yes,
well,
Gary.
One of them's about to participate again pretty soon. He's doing up his bootlaces, and he should be back on the field in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, no, he's very good call to play on there as Webster. Kicks it a high up and under. Reimer's going to go back. Good courage needed here, and he does. Courageous play, good mark, good player is Jaden Reimer.
Again, his hands have been terrific today. Really sticky hands.
Clayton's going to be his target. Up he goes there and takes a good chest mark. Just going to be critical there just a little bit. And even though we've got Aaron Clayton taking a mark there, is that Luke Price is probably one of the best contested mark in the competition. He's sitting in the goal square. To me, he's got to come out and make that contest. He's got to be the one that comes out and takes that mark.
I agree with that, Gary. He's playing a very old-fashioned full-forward sort of role, staying back at home. However, the mark there was taken by the Marlins by sort of coming loose at the pack, and they've done well, and they should be rewarded with the goal here.
And they are. Aaron Clayton, back-to-back goal to the Marlins. Well done by Aaron Clayton. And realistically, Jaden Reimer's the one who's inspired Nelson Bay at the moment.
Pullman Magenta Shores Resort is an exceptional 5-star resort set on 52 acres on the New South Wales Central Coast. Nestled between the pristine waters of the Pacific Ocean, Tuggerah Lakes and surrounded by National Park, this resort has been designed to complement its spectacular location. This luxurious resort by Accor Hotels has been designed to offer guests everything: impeccable service, amazing on-site facilities, sophisticated dining options, modern villa-style accommodation and spectacular event spaces. Also proud BDAFL partner of the Run Against Violence program. Gary?
Yeah, the Run Against Violence club visit this week was at Nelson Bay, and it was a really fantastic night. A couple of really good 400-metre races there with Jaden Reimer and also Pippa Smythe winning both those. So well done to those. They'll progress through to the finals. So it was a good night for a very important cause. As Clark gets a handball, they're going forward now. Lewis will be moved for a quick handball out to Doug Clark on the right boot. They look for a quick answer to the Panthers, but he misses running into that open goal.
That's a pretty ordinary miss there, Gary. Should have taken his time and gone back there, I think.
Couldn't agree more. He just rushed that a bit. He actually had a couple of yards. Perhaps someone wasn't talking to him, but he actually had time to get balance and settle. He kicked it off balance and the ball drop wasn't very good.
Yep, it's a let off there for Nelson Bay. That would have been disappointing for the Marlins after getting 2 goals in the first 3 minutes, to then have one all virtually out of the centre clearance. So as Stewart goes there, goes long to the centre wing. High flies there, Reimer's there, also DeVale. Barton's doing the rover. He's immediately tackle, puts the ball on the ground. Good decision by Harrison Crook there, holding the ball. Free kick's going to go the way of Corey Billins.
The old gridiron pass there.
I'll tell you what, if that was kicked to Corey Billins from Chris Bishop and he tried to take it there, I think Chris Bishop would be absolutely filthy with him.
Look, if Harrison was in a state to run, that might have been 50 there.
How unlike Billins to try and do something cheeky.
Go there long, going to be Darling's his target over the back. There, Clark's roving already, good small man at the front. Handball to Bishop, back to Lewis. Lewis on the right boot. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, over the line for out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
And I've just got to say how well the Marlins have come back into this game in this quarter. They've had all the run in the first 5 minutes, and they really haven't let Terrigal have much of a look at the goals.
No, they haven't at the moment. It's good. That's what we expected them to come back and do. That's what good sides do. They've got visions of being a good side, which they have. They're playing finals. They need to be able to respond.
I said before about how important structure was going to be to the Marlins. I'll say it again. But they've done so well to have all the run out of the centre as well, and that's really overpowering the Panthers at this stage of the quarter.
But Webster, he doesn't waste them. Don't worry about that.
Well,
overpowering.
I spoke too soon.
Tell you what, that is a fantastic finish, and I don't think we appreciate the talent enough of Jimmy Webster. We did it in round one when we were here. I think he kicked 4 goals that day of pure class. And if we get an opportunity to have a look at that again, that was just under pressure. That was not an easy shot at goal, but he just certainly made it look easy.
Well, it looked like he had all the time in the world the way he played that. And that's what all the best players do. They don't get rushed, and they don't let the defenders get a look in.
Yeah, we'll just have a quick look at that one again. It was just from the boundary throw-in. Come back. If you just keep your eye on Jimmy Webster, get the handball's going to come from Lewis. And just look at this. Just one step from probably, that was worse than 45 degree. Straight over the goal umpire's head. Fantastic finish.
And we're back in play again. The ruck won by the Panthers, and it comes out along to Angus Starling, and no ball up there. Bit of scrimmage on the ground. One out slowly by Nelson Bay, really not leaving the centre square at this stage. And that will be a ball. Oh, holding the ball there, called by umpire Matt Howarth, and Terrigal Avoca will have another effort from around the centre square.
So it's going to be Corey Billings who's going to get. He's going to take that kick. Looks to handball that one off there.
And no play on there, so Billings will have another go at that.
A couple of times today, Barton's been caught for holding the ball. He tends to pick the ball up and then tries to just force his way through the pack.
Yes, he does.
So Billings left foot looking for targets. Go there, Kingston's he take. Put one hand up. It goes out the back with Grimond against Stewart. Another couple of young guns. The ball will go out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Half forward flank. 40 metres around from Terrigal Avoca's goals. The Panthers who are leading by 13 points. 5.5 minutes gone in the second quarter.
I've got to be careful there, Gary. They don't just sort of bomb it long and do searching kicks inside 50. They really need to be hitting their targets down forward at this stage.
Ericsson can't take the grab there. Kingston goes out there trying to get the ball in. The ball goes out of bounds, so we're going to have a repeat there. Lincoln McCoy is going to have a second go at it, probably 5 metres further around from the goal.
Game's at a very interesting stage at the moment. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. Terrigal Avoca got that settler from Webster, but the Marlins are right in it at the moment. Very interesting to see how it transpires in this quarter.
Reimer comes in, third man up, comes out to Bishop. Ball spills out, back to Reimer again, and will he mark it?
No, it was out of bounds there. Actually, on the double grab, so it should be a boundary throw in.
Bit of confusion here by the looks of it. And it will be an boundary umpire throw in there on centre wing.
Yeah, correct decision there. He bobbled it over. We just see Matt Howard has just run straight through Chris Bishop. Did you get that on tape?
And believe it or not, Bishop went down.
Yeah. Is that player contact for the umpire? I wonder what that's worth nowadays. It's Farquhar. Kick there, Jews. Like to see him get in the game, or the Marlins like to see him get in the game. He gets there on the left boot, goes out wide to his brother in Matty Jews. If it sits up, he could be gone there in front of Ryan Shaw. He chases him. Well done
tackle
by Shaw.
That is sensational defensive work there.
Good work by Ryan Shaw. Coming this year, he's made a half-back flank spot his own and been really impressive the games we saw. That's a spearing kick in there for Betson. And Betson takes the mark just over the head of Harry Ewell. So he'll be 2 kicks away from goal. Going to go there. Good run coming from Sarich, and he's able to find if it sits up there. That's great running by Brandon Sarich. He's then run 35 metres to take that mark. It's going to be 50 metres. And once again, is that discipline part? Is that coming in again, Dave?
Poor discipline. He got bowled over immediately after he marked it, but the Nelson Bay player had an easy chance to pull out of that. He did and went through with it. Automatic 50.
And Sarich, a rare goal kick up for the Panthers. Goes back, and once again, after 2 early goals from Nelson Bay, the Panthers have been able to respond and bring the margin there. Gets it back out to 19 points.
In 2016, Prime 7 has every big game live and free. Coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 mate, including Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday afternoons. Black Diamond AFL on Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Certainly, they're just looking down at the moment. They've only got 3 on the bench, Terry. I think they've only had 3 on the bench most of the quarter, most of the game. I'm not sure if Alexander White's out there or not. He was named in the side. I can't actually see him.
I don't think you've called his name, and he would be prominent. He would have picked up 5 to 10 possessions by now, Gary.
Yeah,
so I'm not sure if he's here.
Yeah. So anyway, because I know that we know Nelson Bay started playing with the 21. There's Jeremy Eddy there just on the interchange, wanting to get back on the ground. So Scotty Yule's in the ruck. Going to go up there with Daly. Taps it over there. Bishop's not going to get it, so Austin Clark comes in off the wing and he's able to pick the ball up.
Ball spills out, forms another scrimmage. And spills out to forward flank for Terrigal Avoca. And it'll be out for a boundary throw in.
The boundary throw-in is going to be 60 metres around from the Terrigal Avoca goals. They kicked the last 2 goals. Nelson Bay need to be able to respond again.
Well, if you can chalk the last goal to Terrigal Avoca up to poor discipline from Nelson Bay, Nelson Bay is still well and truly in this game.
Ruckman do a great tap by Darling down to Bishop. They've done that many times over the year. Jews comes in, picks it up, keeps the ball in front of him. Well done. Luju gets a handball as it does a 360. Back to Joel Erickson. Forces the ball out there. Ryan Shaw comes in hard for it. Gets a little toe poke in the Clark direction. Austin Clark, that is. He finds out. Going to be another boundary throw in. Half forward flank. Terrigal Avoca's end of the ground.
That breeze has certainly abated this quarter, Gary. It's almost non-existent at the moment. There's not much there really at all.
No, still plenty there, mate. I can just see out this window here, mate. That tree's blowing pretty strongly.
Far side of the ground. It must be different conditions on either side of the ground then, Gary.
Tides come out, mate.
Yes, Gary.
No, it's good. Good pick up. That's it.
Another throw in there on the 50 arc. And it's good to see that both sides are tagging really well at this stage. There's no real loose men. And that says great things about how each side is going to be protecting the ball and not giving away any easy scoring opportunities. And we'll have another ball up, I'd say.
Interesting decision.
Should be holding the ball. Right, gave him there as a ball up. Reeble can't argue with that decision. Could have gone either way, that one. So Darling in the ruck against Yule. Darling just uses his experience in his bulk. Gets a tap down, although this time it's taken away that time by Vasey. A high kick. Just about to come up here, Dave. He nearly took a mark there. In great broadcasting conditions up here, mate. Not Feehan Park up here, let me tell you.
It's always nice being in every ground, Gary, but yes, it's quite luxurious here at Dick Burwell Oval. No complaints at all.
So Corbin Bond, left boot, goes into the inside forward 50. They got the numbers there, Nelson. Flying high, the back was Kingston, but Price has got it for Nelson Bay. Goes one way, look to go back to the other, and then chips in short. Well done by Luke Price. Finds Scotty Yule. Gets an awe of appreciation from Dave Redden. Well done. There, so Scotty Yule, where's he going to go next? Barton will be his target around on the centre wing. Jeremy Eddy's also as well. Barton doesn't go. He stays down and done the roving. He's going to use his pace there up against Doug Clark. Kicks it off the ground. Gains an extra 25 metres. It's going to be a boundary throw-in. Inside forward 50 from Nelson Bay. Currently trailing by 19 points. 11 minutes gone, second quarter, and certainly in need of a goal.
Yes, sorry, you go.
Yes, Terrigal's doing well to get their numbers back there. They're not going to be conceding any easy goals for Nelson Bay. And this flooding technique at this stage is going to be really good for stopping any loose men.
Into the centre now. Oh, good punch. I think, was that Kingston? I'm not sure. Dylan Stewart flying at the back of the pack. Across the half-forward flank, one of the Jews brothers, I believe, on the far side. Continuing on. Oh, that's almost a throw. Surely, umpire. Thank you. Yes, he's paid a throw there. So, Nelson Bay with an opportunity to go deep into the 50-metre line here. Uses the breeze. Across the park looking for Price. No, good intercept mark there by Terrigal. And he's loose. He's loose down here in the wing. Oh, good grab with a floating ball. Excellent performance there by Betson. Again, wasn't it? Coming back from a knee, Rico. Third game in. He's away now. He's been called to play on. Ordinary kick. Gets grubbered forward. I wouldn't have thought that was 15, but it's been paid. Coming out here to the half-back line. Oh, half volley there. Should be play on call. Hits that with a grubber. Jimmy Webster cleaning up as he often does.
A little bit sloppy off hands there as Nelson Bay come up with the goods. And that will be a boundary throw in there just behind centre wing.
It's a pretty good tight game of footy so far. Actually, I'm quite enjoying this. It's a good contest.
Well, sorry, mate. I keep saying that Nelson Bay's done really well to bounce back after last week. They were really outclassed in the match against Warners Bay last week. So they've done well to go back to the drawing board and really overhaul their game this week. Exactly.
Darling should have got a free kick there for tunnelling in the ruck contest that he has. Bishop will be handing the ball over. Off goes Bishop after the handball from Darling. Spearing pass into Braden Kingston, who's too far out to score. He's inside the square here. Will be looking for forward motion. Has none. And goes to the far flank. Looking, is it for Webster? No, it's over the top of the pack Price arriving at the back. Good solid bump there. Good contest. Oh, it's out now. I thought that might be a ball in, and boundary umpire Macaulay will throw this ball in about 20 metres in from the behind post.
Yeah, so a good clearance here by Nelson Bay, by Terrigal, I should say, will really set them up well for another kick. However, Nelson Bay will be very tight on their man. So Terrigal do win the clearance there. They send it a full forward, and it'll be touched through for a point. Very good effort there for a snap.
Yes, it could have been marked in these conditions. Obviously, it's very hard. So 41 to 21, 20.1 point to Terrigal Avoca. Dylan Stewart with the kick out. He's made sure he stayed inside the box this time. Up they fly. Ball's at ground level. All tight in there. Very hard contest for the football. Good to see. Everybody going in just for the football. It springs out of the pack. And it's out of bounds. Just in front, just in line with the 50-metre line. And boundary umpire will throw that ball in. We're along the lines of 17 minutes into the second quarter here. Terrigal Avoca 6-5-41. Nelson Bay 3-3-21. Over to you.
Yeah, well, I've just got to make a comment about how often the ball's been scrimmaged on the ground, and it's been they've done well to move the ball out pretty quickly. There haven't been a lot of ball ups by the umpires, and although the ball is on the ground a little bit, they're not. It's not getting locked up so badly. So that's really good for the spectacle of the game.
Yes, it is. Away we go. Hart with a handball going down the centre. Jay Lewis looking to spear that one long. It could even shepherd that through. And I think that's a goal. Waiting on the goal umpire, but I'm sure that is. And it is. Major to Jay Lewis from inside the square, leaving Terrigal Avoca at 7-5-47 to Nelson Bay 3-3-21. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports the Black Diamond AFL.
Well, talk about roll out the barrel there, Dave. That was fantastic kicking there from about 65 metres out.
Oh, here we go. We've got a replay here. So it's a nice handball from Hart. Lewis, well inside the square. Terrific kick and shepherded through very unselfishly at the end. Cracking goal to Terrigal Avoca. That starts to split the emotion now. Oh, goodness me. I wonder if Lewis has done it. That's Luke Price. I'm hoping that he hasn't done another hammy. Let's just hope that's not. No, in fact, he's feeling onto his side and his hip there, isn't he? So hopefully that's not a hammy, and hopefully he can get back out there. He's very wounded, though. Terrigal Avoca with the football back into the 50-metre arc. And continuing on here, ball in dispute. Oh, he's gone hard down there. He's got to ground level, which is the key not to do in this sort of condition. You've got to try and maintain your feet. Square and kick up into the centre. Bishop leaves it most unselfishly. And Andrew Clark's got the ball here, and I reckon he's about 45 out, and he'd probably be kicking from close to the arc. What do you think?
I'd say so. He does look like he's well within range. He'd be fancying himself for the major here. But what surprised me is that there's not a lot of loose Terrigal players in the forward 50. They should be really flooding the area and giving themselves a lot of second chance opportunities.
Agreed. See how he goes here with this kick.
Yes. That's a shocker.
Man on the mark was really active. So away we go. Nelson Bay looking to go straight down the middle of the park. Clearing that ball. It's only 2-on-2 up here. Terrigal's under the pump here. Nelson Bay into the 50. His left foot snap, and he's just dropped back right to the front of the square and taken a very telling, important intercept mark. And it's kicked to Gary Owen all the way out there. That has gone further in the air than others, but a terrific grab on that far side by Terrigal Avoca. Now, he probably needs to go back here. Now he's looking for that short option that you've been talking about, and he gets cut off. Now, he's going to have a kick here from 50 metres. Now, if there is breeze, this is an opportunity for him to slot a major, which Nelson Bay really need right now.
Oh, sorely, Dave. They're at this stage, they're 26 points down. They would not want to be any worse than that at this stage. And if they can bring it back into about 20 points, they'll be well in the hunt for the third term in the premiership quarter.
Kicking from outside 50. He's got that in the air. Looks like it's sliding away for a behind, and it is. So we'll read the score to you. Nelson Bay now 3-4-21 to Terrigal, and Terrigal Avoca leading 7-5-47. Now, Luke Price is down in front of us on the Nelson Bay bench. I think he's got a hip flexor or a high cork. Just hoping that he can work that out. That he's desperately needed by Nelson Bay. He's one of the best players in the league, and it's fundamental to their chances. Out we come. The big men fly. Great fly there. Out comes Jared Warren with the ball. Ryan Webster, it's gone past him. Ball in dispute. Has it been kept in? No, boundary umpire has called that out. Shortle did his best to keep that ball in, but we'll have another boundary throw in line with the centre square. We're about 20 and a half minutes into the second quarter here. And Terrigal Avoca leading by 25 points.
Yep, Terrigal Avoca have really pegged it back well in about the last maybe 5-10 minutes of the quarter. And that shows what class they have as a side. They've done well across the whole field. They've got back to fullback and the half-backs. And they're going into attack again.
That's Webster. I think he might have slotted another one. Geez, class.
All
Man,
class.
that is class. Superb goal on the run to Jimmy Webster. He's second for the quarter, leaving Terrigal Avoca at 8-5-53 to Nelson Bay, 3-4-22. The entertainment grounds on the Central Coast has quickly established itself as the premier events location on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds is an indoor and outdoor multi-purpose community facility for functions, events, festivals, weddings, exhibitions, as well as horse racing. And of course, the farmers markets are there every Sunday morning. Get along there. It's a great day. Superb facility and proud supporters of the Black Diamond Australian Footy League. Look, that was a terrific goal from open play by Webster. He's shown his class twice this quarter, hasn't he?
He made a lot of space for himself there, and he gave himself as much time as he needed. He did well to win the clearance there, and he's shown what a class player he is. I agree, Dave.
Angus Darling in the ruck here. He's beaten there. Clayton mops up the ball, and down we come down down the commentary side flank. Can't quite manage to grab a mark there, and under close attention from James Hart. So the boundary of throw-in, half-forward flank for Nelson Bay. Down by 31 points here, in need of a goal before the main break, mate.
Well, if Reimer can make himself free or come up as a third man, he could be really valuable in this throw-in opportunity, as he's been in the last couple. However, Nelson Bay have been struggling a little bit with clearances at this stage of the game.
Chris Bishop in front of us again on the physiotherapist table. I'm wondering whether he has twinged that calf. I hope he's okay. Away we go with the play. Deep ball into the 50-metre arc. All up for grabs. Lots of Terrigal men at the ground level there. Oh, good mark. That's a terrific mark to Brandon Sarich in a contested situation. Well done.
Sarich has played quite well today, Dave.
Yes, he has. He's been very solid. Oh, that's another very good contested mark. That's Betson there just forward of the centre circle. He'll look to spear the ball in here. Ryan Webster's calling for the ball. He's gone square, and he's found, I think that's either a Shortle or Kingston, probably Shortle there.
And is Shortle there?
Yeah, Shortle there. He's just docked up to put one up into the hot spot, a high ball. Defenders usually love those. I think that's Kingston there. At the back of the pack, Lewis. Oh, superb smother by Nelson Bay. That's terrific play. Really committed. Oh, it's come out. It's Sarich, I think, at the back again. Just gets a hurried handball out. Important gather here. I think that's Grimmin out there. Another high ball into the hot spot. Who's up? Oh, there should be a free kick there for holding the man, and is.
Well, that's free kick 7 days out of 7 there, Dave. He was held out. There was no way he could make that contest, and he would have got to it otherwise, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. No, clear free kick. Betson's got a chance to really ram home the advantage here and put Terrigal Avoca 37 points up, not very far out from the main break. Some injured players out here. There's a Nelson Bay player over here. I can't quite see the number there. It's possibly, is that Jaden Reimer over there getting a head wound repaired? Yes, it is. It is Reimer. So they've got Reimer, Price, and Barton out here on the interchange bench. Betson to kick a goal. I think he might have pushed that left. He has. So that's just a behind. Terrigal Avoca 8-6-54, leading Nelson Bay 3-4-22, and we're looking at 24 minutes. So I've got about a minute's play left. We're happy with that, Tom Creepers? Yep, minute 28. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Kick out here for Nelson Bay. Clayton's given them a lead. He decides to ignore that. Goes long to a contest. Betson again could have got a free kick and has got a free kick for holding the man. This one's out of range of goals. He's got to put this up in the hot spot, I'd reckon. Away he goes, right into the danger position. The high man fly. That's a terrific mark there in defence. Excellent job. Nelson Bay down to the flank. Sorry, away you go.
Yep, there was a searching kick there going forward, but it was well marked there by Tim DeVale. And it comes out again along the far wing. And it's won out well by Nelson Bay. And it will be a throw in there. There's good pressure there by Terrigal Avoca, not letting him have any space to run the way down the forward flank.
They've been very good in this quarter. After 2 early goals to Price and Clayton, they've put the next 4 on the board. So they've really come back in this quarter. Thank you for the DeVale call. Couldn't quite tell what it was. The light's very dim here. I might have to start calling off the television. It's I'm having issues on the far side, just with my eyesight. So away we go. Good tackle, Angus Darling. We'll wonder whether that could have been paid as holding the man. Ball springs out wide. And it's a hurried kick away. Now, Jaden Rhyme is loose. Danger, danger. He will use the ball well. Puts it up to centre half forward. Oh, intercept mark. I thought he could have gone a little bit harder at that, but anyway, that's the way it goes. Looking wide here for Clark. No, didn't take the football. Now he's going to be made to pay for that. Oh, good tackle. Excellent tackle. Straight through. Good contest again. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell by the siren going off 1.5 metres from our commentary position, it's now half time. Terrigal Avoca are 8-6-54, leading Nelson Bay 3-4-22 at the break. Goals in that quarter, 2 superb goals to Jimmy Webster, Brandon Sarich and Jay Lewis. And for Nelson Bay in that quarter, Aaron Clayton and Luke Price. Final summations before we head to our main break?
Well, Dave, what I've got to say is you're seeing what a class side Terrigal Avoca are. They had the first 2 goals kicked on them this quarter, and they've stamped their authority, come straight back at that with the next 4 or 5 goals. And that's going to make it really hard for Nelson Bay to come back in the second half. But we've still got a game on our hands, I think.
Absolutely have. We're concerned about Nelson Bay's injury toll mounting. Hopefully they can come out with 21 fit players.
Well, with Ryman back on the field, that's certainly a huge bonus for Nelson Bay. Without him, they'd be in a very bad predicament.
Totally agree. We'll leave you now, ladies and gentlemen, for about 10 or 12 minutes while we have our long break. Just a final wrap of the score. Terrigal Avoca 8-6-54, leading Nelson Bay 3-4-22.
G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially Black Diamond AFL.
A massive thank you to all of their sponsors.
BLK, the major sponsor and official apparel supplier of Black Diamond AFL. BLK, beyond limits known.
Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment.
GE Industrial Solutions, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers for the past 50 years.
Wilson Security, Australia's largest and most innovative security provider.
Pullman Magenta Shores Resort, an exceptional 5-star resort set on 52 acres on the New South Wales Central Coast.
Prime 7, coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday afternoon.
Star 104.5, the home of Rabbit and Julie Goodwin, playing more music variety.
The Entertainment Grounds, one of the Central Coast's premier events locations.
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery, the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast.
And Subway Morisset. Subway, eat fresh.
And remember to tune in to our Brekkie Show 6 till 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Welcome back to Dick Burwell Oval, where the weather has dramatically changed in the last 10 minutes. We now have a howling gale coming in from the rough direction of the Tomaree headlands, so it's going to be very interesting to see how players adjust to this in the second quarter. I'm not sure if the screens do it justice, but you can see the trees moving. It is really howling out there now. Some scores for you from other games across the Black Diamond Australian Football League. In the women's division, Wyong Lakes 4-3-27 over Warners Bay, 6 straight points. Gosford 11-11-77 to Lake Macquarie 1-6-12. Cardiff and Newcastle City at Newcastle number 1 sports ground postponed. In a thriller, Maitland 3-8-26 over Killarney Vale 3-3-21. And leaders Nelson Bay 14-28 1-1-2 to Singleton 0. Into second division, Warners Bay 6:20.56 to Wyong Lakes 3:9.27. The entrance Baddo Bay 13:12.90 here over at Dick Bell Oval over Nelson Bay 3:8.26. Newcastle City 20:18.138 to Gosford 2:2.14. Maitland 8:10.58 in a tight one over Killarney 5:7.37. And in the later game, Muswellbrook continue their undefeated run 19:11.125 to Terrigal Avoca 2:1.13. Games currently underway. In First Division, Wyong Lakes 11.672 over Warners Bay 1:28. Singleton and Terrigal were locked together at 26 points all at three-quarter time. But Travis Bates has kicked 2 early goals for Singleton, so Singleton now up by 2 goals. And Gosford 8-1-41, leading late Macquarie 3-5-24. At half-time in the Black Diamond Cup, Killarney Vale 4-7-31 to Warners Bay 3-5-23. And, of course, here Terrigal Avoca 8-6-54 to Nelson Bay 3-4-22 as we're about to get going.
Yes, the umpire holds the ball aloft. And we're underway for the second half here, the Premiership quarter. And Nelson Bay are really going to have to start kicking away this quarter if they're going to have a real chance of winning this game.
Absolutely they are. They're going to have to make a... Now, I'm just wondering if there's been a centre square infraction at the centre square infringement, and there has. So, free kick to Nelson Bay from the start of the second quarter.
Perfect start there, Dave.
Perfect start for them, yes. That ball's going to get dragged across this flank all quarter. So, Mr. McCauley is going to be a very, very busy boundary umpire this quarter.
Well, that's going to make the job so much harder for Nelson Bay being behind because kicking direction is going to really suffer from this strong breeze.
Absolutely it is. Yeah, no question about that. Interesting with the boundary throws whether he comes in a couple of yards because that ball's just going to stop in mid-air. So Angus Darling in the ruck here. Very good throw-in. Darling, as you would expect, gets first use of it. Good tackle there. Ball kept in tight. Good contest once again provided.
Good hands to get it out there.
Angus Darling gets a short kick, scrubbing kick. Grimmin keeps that in. If he's done so, he's done very well. He has. And ball flies out of bounds right in front of the central commentary position here at Dick Burwell Oval. Tim Duval couldn't quite control that one as it went over the line. So Nelson Bay appear to be still without Luke Price and possibly Billy Barton. And Reimer's is definitely back out there. He's sitting there just off Angus Darling's left shoulder. So no Price, no Barton at the moment, which is going to hurt Nelson Bay. Reimer actually gets the footy from the ruck contest, spears the ball into inside the arc. Someone went up too early. I think that's Jimmy Hart, is it, that's gone up? Not quite sure, but it's a superb mark there just at the true centre half back position. Alex, over to you, mate.
Well, not a specky, but a fantastic mark nonetheless. As Terrigal will work it through the centre there, and it'll be marked on. Oh, they spilled that there. And it's well crumbed there by Nelson Bay. Clearing kick there.
I think that's Jay Lewis that's just gone up, Alex. It is. Lewis on the ground, hands and knees. Oh, great hands. Wasn't quite sure gave that hands out. However, he's missed his kick. So behind there to Terrigal Avoca.
Really didn't have much chance there to line up there, but he made a very good effort from about 48 metres out. If he was going to finish that off, it would have been a fantastic effort. Would have.
And the ball's gone towards the highway here with that breeze. It's gone a long distance. So Dylan Stewart's just quietly waiting for the ball to be brought back by one of his colleagues, and he'll take the kick out. I'm suggesting Alex is going to have to kick to this flank with this breeze, but we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it's just interesting to see how he sets up. Oh, he's gone to himself. There's no one on the mark.
Look, Stewart has gone to himself a few times, then gone the big boost down the ground. But at this stage of the game, it's probably pretty important they control the ball more than anything.
Agreed. Oh, good grab, good intercept mark there by, I
Duval?
think, Duval again, I'm not quite sure. It is? Yeah, Duval it is. Well done. Stewart all trouble here. The ball's at centre half forward and it's in dispute. Stewart very calm. Okay. Oh, again, very well done. I think this is one of the Jews brothers coming towards us and the flank being chased by Grimond. Good tackle. Very good tackle. And gone. Very well done, Jack Grimond there on right in front of the commentary position, Alex.
Yeah, that was fantastic effort there. He wrapped him well up. There was no chance that he could get the disposal, and that's gone every day of the week.
Indeed. Jimmy Webster, good pair of hands there as the ball, the breeze got the ball and he just kept that in. Now kicking into the teeth of it. Great pass. I think that's Betson who's got the football, it is. And he'll take his shot at goal. No, he's not going to. He's going to look to give off. Webster's free, and he's could almost consider playing on. He has played on now. And goal to Shortall. Excellent football, Terrigal Avoca. Excellent football. Really good way to start the second half.
Well, in that... Okay, so sports...
Oh, he could have picked that one
that
up.
was an air swing.
That is an airy. Webster's also had a soccer at it. Perhaps he could have picked the ball up earlier. Reimer takes the ball out of bounds. Now a little bit further towards the com box. We're about 65 metres out from Nelson Bay's goal. Left forward pocket. Terrigal Avoca leading by 53 points. Barton and Darling go out in the ruck. Well read by Coach Chris Bishop. Superb reading of the football. Goes along looking for Betson again against Stewart. That is a contest that I think Nelson Bay need to address right now. As soon as it gets in the air, Betson is going to have a field day. Going to the dead pocket here, Betson looking for... Can't quite tell now. Grimmin, if he's got a chance here, if he can keep that ball in, he's a chance. He has kept it in. Oh, he's done... Oh, it's been called out. Interesting call. So boundary umpire McCauley has called that ball out just past the juncture of the 50-metre arc.
Look, Grimmin did fumble that a little bit. He never really had it under control, but if he'd have got proper hands to it, he probably would have been able to get a few steps away.
Look, boundary umpire not in bad position. I'm happy with the call. It was very close, but you've got to make a call, and he's a very experienced boundary umpire, so he does know what he's doing. So, okay, umpire McCauley to eventually grab the footy. We're 14 and a half minutes into the third quarter here, everybody, here at Dick Bell Oval, where the rain's actually ceased, and whilst the wind's going, conditions aren't really too bad. Considering the weather in Eastern Australia at the moment, we're very lucky. Angus Darling killing in the ruck. He's having one of his more dominant days this season on the ball. Ball in dispute. Bishop gets a hurried kick away. Darling at the back of the pack. Tackles Reimer. Excellent tackle. No prior. Good decision. Good tackle. Good play. Just good footy. Reimer... right hard at the footy. Darling put a great tackle on there, Alex.
Oh, fantastic tackle. Reimer's very hard to stop. He's a very solid boy. And as they bomb it long, it'll be a throw in the forward pocket.
Yes, I think that might have been Billings that got a hurried kick out there to the forward pocket. So, not of appreciation for the Terrigal timekeeper over here. So, yeah, he knew he kicked it.
But I really cannot pump up Reimer enough. He's been sensational today as well.
Very good play. Great hands.
I mean, he's one of the premier midfielders in the competition, I would say.
Without question. Away we go. I think that's Reimer now, actually. Yes, he's got a 1-2 handball. Superb kick to position there, but no, Luke Bell couldn't quite take it.
Bit of a hopeful bomb down to the forward flank, or the centre wing, I should say. My apologies. As it gets tangled up with Dan Morgan, I think that is over there. And it'll be on the ground for a ball up there, umpire Darryl Luck.
Who's been in excellent form himself of late, Alex. He's in a couple of games with us. He's really been in very good form. He's very consistent.
Well, he's a fantastic umpire. He's very experienced. I think it's something like 23 years. He gave me a few tips on my performance last week, and I had no choice but to smile and nod because he knows exactly what he's talking about.
If you listen to people like that, they'll do you the world of good. Jimmy Webster, if he can get this football, has a paddock at the moment. That spells danger. Oh, it's going to be cut off, is it? No, he gets to that, Betson, but Stewart's going to get him at ground level here. Rushed handball. Webster comes back for the footy. Tries to go through the pack. Gets rid of it, actually. Good strength. Jack Grimmin has to screw that around. And the breeze, actually, I think that's been caught out of bounds on the fall. Yes, it has been. Must have been close. Boundary umpire had a good look at that. So, again, still 53 points, 16 and a half minutes into the third quarter. Terrigal Avoca 11-9. Nelson Bay 3-4. Alex.
Well, the issue with that kick there was that Grimmin was never really on balance, so he was always going to spray it, especially which way the wind was going. So it was probably not the great option there.
Very well called. Nelson Bay here, I think that's one of the Eddy brothers with the football. It was Chris Eddy. Good tackle there, no prior, excellent work. Not much else he can do. Damon Smith, great tackle there on Luke Bell. Another ball up. You'd almost want two boundary umpires on this side. You should get out there, this sort of big fella, go and do some boundaries.
Yeah, never again. I've done it before, and I've had my time in the mines, as they might say.
Exactly. Okay, see if Terrigal of Nelson Bay put someone third man up here. Darling's not actually in the contest. Barton uses his strength. Well done.
Yes, no one really wanting the ball from the ruck contest there.
Hands by Bishop, terrific. Rush kick though.
Grimmin probably going to find the boundary again. No, he manages to keep it in, retrieves it himself.
Good tackle. Excellent tackle there, right in front of us. Good. Grimmin gets batters up for more. Gee, that's a good contest. Really enjoyed that. Was hard footy, good clean footy. Bell on the bottom of the pack. Grimmin doing good work at ground level again.
Well, we're seeing some rugby skills at the moment over on this centre wing.
Indeed. Now, Lewis has got the sit here, almost interfere with, but takes a very clever mark to the right-hand side of centre-half back for Terrigal Avoca. Will look to put this deep downfield. In fact, he's gone square and found, I think that's Shortle. It is Shortle over there on the back flank, just inside the square he is now. Moving the ball downfield.
Looking for Doug Clark down there, and he finds Austin Clark. So both the Clark brothers in good positions down forward. Ball gets locked up, and some slow movement there.
I'm going over the television. I'm finding that a little bit difficult to see in that far flank. So Alex will call it from his eye. I'm going to call it from the screen here on that far flank. We've got a boundary throw in. Probably 70 metres from the Terrigal Avoca goal. Yes, I saw that on the corner. One of the players on the boundary down here for Nelson Bay's got a cut lip or some teeth missing. I think that might be a Dan Morgan struggling down here at the front. He's actually bleeding from the mouth. Hopefully he's going to be okay. War of the wounded here today for Nelson Bay has got central umpire Darryl Luck calls a throw up on centre wing. Alex.
Yeah, Nelson Bay are really going to find there's a war of attrition at this stage. They're a long way behind the 8 ball, and any injuries at this stage are going to be absolutely detrimental to them. As we see another bit of a scrimmage on the Terrigal Avoca forward flank, and it was a bit of a hack forward as they find Bishop again.
Ooh,
and
good
that's smothered on the
smother.
boot there by Dylan Stewart. Did well to get over that. And Stewart finds the 1-2. And he goes long. He's found Rymer. That is a sensational aerial mark.
He's been superb above his head today, Alex. He really has. As the ball gets the terrific kick there from Rymer, looking for space as you would any smart footballer does. Jimmy Hart's keeping low to the ground here. Good tackle.
Just couldn't quite make that one stick there.
Is that going to go on the full? It
Scott
is.
Yule.
Yeah. Out of bounds on the full.
Good result for Nelson Bay there. A lot of pressure from that tackle there by Yule.
Yes. Clayton will take the kick in front of Grimmin, right in front of the combox here, where 20 minutes into the third quarter, average kick there. Can they take advantage of it? Hart intercepts. We'll get the ball long. It's a one-on-one back there, and almost a mark taken. And an over-the-shoulder free kick, I'd suggest, to not quite sure who that is at the moment with the number. It looked like number 2, but I haven't got a number 2 on my sheet. That's fine. And as we go down to the far wing, up they fly. Rymer again. Nearly takes a superb mark. Back butters up well. So do Terrigal Avoca. Down the wing we go. Very hard football at the moment. And in front is Nelson Bay again. Now this Nelson Bay have got a paddock here. One of the Eddy brothers has got an absolute paddock. Use his left. Probably that's Chris Eddy, I think. Yes, it was Chris Eddy. And we've got a mark paid here, right in the back, just on the 50-metre line in Terrigal Avoca's defensive end. Alex.
Yeah, he picked out half-back flank there perfectly. So might need to take a bit more time on his kick. We might also just make a quick note that Price has come up injured after that contest a few moments ago. So we hope that he's well, because he is absolutely crucial to Nelson Bay's chances of pulling this back. Indeed,
Totally agreed. Good football here. Kingston's going in hard on the football, kept his body low. Now, Clark's socketed that forward into the pocket. It's a 1-on-2. Should be a Nelson Bay football, and is. I think that's Clayton squaring the ball over there to the far flank. And away Nelson Bay go down that far flank. Running into position. There looks like Barton with the conspicuous white boots, and it is. He squared that ball. Coming through now. Webster again rooting the ball beautifully at the back of the pack. Good quick kick away, although that's always made every effort there. He's got to get it back on his feet or else he's in trouble. Terrigal all over him like a cheap suit there. Very good football. Aaron Clayton, no prior. Excellent tackle low to ground. Again, a good passage of play. Ball just in front of centre wing here, and we are around about 21 and almost 22 minutes into the third quarter here. Angus Darling and Billy Barton. Barton crashes into Darling. Good, strong play there. Clayton with a good kick. Great pass.
And who does he find?
Guess who? Jaden Rymer.
Look, I mean, however this game finishes up, you've got to look at Rymer for best on ground. He's been absolutely without peer today, I'd say.
He's going to go very close. Interestingly, that breeze that was howling at half time is now just a normal breeze again. So strange conditions here. Rymer from this pocket has missed. So he's skewed that one left. Nelson Bay with their first score of the quarter, I believe. Yeah, thank you, guys. And so Nelson Bay 3-5-23 trailing Terrigal Avoca 11-9-75, Alex. And it's been a bit of a lull here. There hasn't been a goal kicked for approximately 14 minutes. So
Well, every time Terrigals look like scoring, Nelson Bay have done well to go back to their structure, go back across half-back, and they haven't really given them the opportunity to finish off the job.
Correct. Webster checked his kick there, hit Grimmin. Now he's got a one-on-one down there. Let's see him. Oh, good use of the body. I think that's Kingston. Is it Kingston or Shortle? I can't quite tell at the moment. Certainly not Betson or Clark. We'll just wait till he turns. Is it Shortle? Not quite sure, guys. Well, sorry about this. We'll get back to you very shortly as to who it is. Or is it actually Ryan Shaw?
That is Shortle there, Dave.
It is Shortle, sorry. So number one, Shortle. He's going his third goal here, Alex, which will be a very good return.
Yeah, he's had a really good game as well. I wouldn't say that he's as well known a name as certain others like Chris Bishop or Mitchie Beeson. However, he's been fantastic today, and he really hasn't made any mistakes that we can report.
Not many. Behind there, he's missed that to the left-hand side. So 76-23, Terrigal Avoca up by 53 points, 23 and three-quarter minutes into the third quarter here at Burl Oval, which is really holding its own with this weather. The game's being played at good high standard, considering the conditions. Ball off hands here. And will that be out of bounds on the full? Off the shin? It is. That should be a Nelson Bay free kick. And we'll go to Tom Wood, I believe, who looks to go down the flank. Oh, and he's just not got that heart.
Nearly found Farquhar instead.
Jared Warren gets that ball, but it comes back to Nelson Bay. Bell gets the ball at his knee level, can't bend down. Barton going the Manchester United tactics as the third quarter siren comes into play. And at the end of the third quarter, we have Terrigal Avoca 11-10-76 to Nelson Bay 3-5-23. Goals in that quarter, Alex, all to Terrigal Avoca. Jay Lewis, Mitch Betson with a terrific kick in when the gale was howling, and Matt Shortle. Your appraisal of the third quarter there, mate?
Well, given the wind in the first part of the quarter, you wouldn't expect it to be a really high-scoring game. They say it is a premiership quarter, and we've seen Terrigal Avoca really fight back well. Even if it hasn't been all that high-scoring, they've shown that they are the side to beat. And I'd also make a note that Chris Bishop, although he is on the field and he's done a few really good things today, he's not moving too well. He's been a little bit ginger. And we really hope that in the last quarter, especially for next week, that he can come back and really make the sort of impact that he's so renowned for doing.
Thank you for that, mate. Couldn't agree more. Bish did pick up an injury just before the boys went to Wagga, so hopefully he'll get through that as Terrigal Avoca look to the second half of the season. We'll be back with you in a few minutes. Terrigal Avoca leading by 53 points.
G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially Black Diamond AFL.
A massive thank you to all of their sponsors.
BLK, the major sponsor and official apparel supplier of Black Diamond AFL. BLK, beyond limits known.
Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment.
GE Industrial Solutions, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers for the past 50 years.
Wilson Security, Australia's largest and most innovative security provider.
Pullman Magenta Shores Resort, an exceptional 5-star resort set on 52 acres on the New South Wales Central Coast.
Prime 7 coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday afternoon.
Star 104.5, the home of Rabbit and Julie Goodwin, playing more music variety.
The Entertainment Grounds, one of the Central Coast's premier events locations.
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery, the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast.
And Subway Morisset. Subway, eat fresh.
And remember to tune in to our Brekkie Show 6 till 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Back with you here for the final quarter at Dick Bell Oval on the beautiful Tomaree Peninsula in eastern New South Wales. Alex, Terrigal Avoca leading quite comfortably at 53 points. We've just got some information from our main informant from Nelson Bay sitting right here next to us that Dylan Stewart may have picked up an injury. So that's a real concern if he's not going to go back out for the final quarter. You can see he's holding, you're right there. We can see in there he's holding his left wrist, so that is not a good sign. And Luke Price is definitely not on the field. He's still wounded. He's very proppy in that hip area, Alex. So not good news for the Bay.
Well, that's two key players that could be out next week if these are bad injuries. And that's going to knock a real hole in their chances. Well, at least they've got the long weekend, but in the week after that, they'll need to come back really strong after two losses on the trot.
While we're speaking about the long weekend, with Cardiff and Newcastle City being called off at number 1 sports ground today, there will be football next week if anybody's interested to get over to Newcastle number 1, the main ground of the league, to watch City and Cardiff. So hopefully the rain holds off and the game's not called off.
Well, I'll cancel the holiday plans there, Dave, because that will be a really good game. Cardiff look like they've been really improving over the last couple of weeks, so that should be really exciting football.
And away we go.
So Terrigal Avoca with a 53-point advantage going into the final quarter. This will be all about Nelson Bay trying to win back a lot of pride and try and have something to build on for a fortnight's time.
Indeed it will. Central umpire Darryl Luck calls that one up with a contest just inside the centre square, Nelson Bay's attacking side. Angus Darling, and I think that was one of the Yule brothers. I think it might be one of the Yule brothers in that contest. Ball comes out. Big courage needed here. Everybody backs into the pack. I think that's Grimmin at the bottom of the pack. That's not surprising. No prior. Umpire calls up a throw up just at the 50-metre arc at the the Terrigal Avoca attacking end. Darling has been superb in the ruck today. He really has been one of Terrigal Avoca's best. Ball in dispute. I'm not sure if I think that might be Clayton right down the bottom of the pack. And Alex, a quiet start here. No, it wasn't Clayton actually. It was that was Ben Grace. So Darling again, he's really in good nick at the moment at those contests. He's almost unstoppable. Ball comes out in dispute again. Almost a push in the back there. Bishop committed by Bishop, but no, play on. Grace is in there. Good tackle, good strong stuff. Again, another ball up at centre half forward.
Yeah, it's been really stop-start stuff in the first minute and a half of this quarter. And that's really going to obviously be to the advantage of the Panthers because they've got such a big lead. So any dead time is really going to go the way of the Panthers.
Correct. Scott Yule at the moment is doing an earnest job as in opposition to Angus Darling in the ruck, but Darling's got at least 10 centimetres on him. It's going to be hard work for the rest of the day. Another ball up at centre half forward. Let's have a look at if they go third man in. They do, and that makes a neutral contest. So well done there, I think, by Jaden Reimer again. Jimmy Webster's in there. Chris Bishop as well. Grimmin, ball squeams out. Grimmin's trying to get a handball out there. Yes, he does. At the bottom of the pack is Jackson Farquhar. Head down there. There's no prior. Good tackle. And another ball up. So we've had 2.5 minutes of ball up so far, Alex.
Well, this is the first chain of ball ups that I can think of all game, to be honest with you, Dave. So that says a lot about the quality of the game, that it hasn't been on the ground too much for wet weather footy.
Correct. Jaden Reimer in that ruck contest. Ball comes out here to the combox wing. Probably will go out of bounds with the breeze coming this way, and it does in front of Bell and Damon Smith. So just in front of the combox here, boundary umpire Macaulay.
The other Macaulay.
The young fella. He's doing a very serviceable job, I might add. The two of them do an excellent job. Part of a good umpiring team in the Black Diamond AFL. Angus Darling again using his strength. Left-handed this time. Ball in dispute. Out at ball comes by hands. Jimmy Webster, been very smooth today, has the prime mover, and that ball should be out of bounds of the full, and is. Will be a free kick to Joel Eriksson there, just at the half-back flank. Looking for options down here. Alex hasn't got many moving, has he?
Well, he should be looking at going across the ground rather than just bombing it forward. He's got one or two fresh players across the half-back line, but he does just go forward, takes a simple option, and that will be out again for another boundary throw in. Just outside the Nelson Bay forward 50.
Jeremy Eddy there and playing in 27. Went up for a fly but couldn't quite bring the mark down. Angus Darling and Scott Yule again. Now look for Jaden Reimer, who is free to go in third man up. No, he's not going to go up third man up this time, leaving Darling to manipulate the ball forward. Ball gets punted forward there by Joel Eriksson. Ball in dispute there at true fullback. Need to be steady here, and he is. Off to Hart. Hart comes down the flank looking for Braden Kingston. Oh, almost a very... Oh, he's paid that. That's a strong mark by Kingston there. Very good job under enormous pressure, Alex.
Yeah, that was good to pay that mark there. He had plenty of control over that, and it was just knocked loose by the contest.
Oh, that's a good grab. Is that Betson again? Geez, proved a handball.
Is.
He's been in terrific nick today. He's got better as the game's gone along, I think, Alex.
Well, he reminds me a lot of Nick Rewald as a player. He's all over the ground. He's always putting in fantastic effort, and as a Saints supporter, that's a pretty big prop from me.
I was going to mention this. There's a St Kilda reference in there. Jimmy Webster again gets the ball now. What's he going to do with it here? He just manages to get it off. That is a behind. Kicked by Corey Billins. So Terrigal Avoca legs 11-11. So 11-11-77 to Nelson Bay 3-5-23. Nelson Bay have found it very difficult to score in the second half. In fact, they haven't scored a goal.
Well, that's right, and that might be because of a lack of forward scoring options, and they've lost a little bit of grunt through the midfield. But having said that, their defensive work has been adequate.
Oh, yes, they've kept them to 11 goals. I wonder if that's going to be deliberate. He's actually paid that for taking over. The central umpire's paid the deliberate taking, or is he? I'm sorry, I thought that I'd seen a hand go out. No, that's gone to umpire Macaulay. My apologies, everybody. I thought for sure he paid a little bit out of bounds there, so would have been an interesting goal. He did run over the line with it, though, but anyway.
And it's an interesting point you make too, Dave, because there's a new interpretation of the deliberate out of bounds rule this year. And we're not seeing that so much in community football, but we are seeing a little bit of a filtering down of the AFL interpretation now.
There's no question that it's filtered down, as you call it in community football. As Gary will tell you, Gary Birkinshaw will tell you, there's clearly a rule in community footy that rule doesn't apply, but it is filtering down, and the players are playing to it. That's the interesting thing. Terrific long kick by Reimer down there as we wax lyrical about umpiring rules, but that's life. Ball coming back out here. Now he's looking for a big contest here. Clayton's in front, shouldn't go, and does. Very good mark there. He's got good hands.
That was very strong effort there by Clayton.
Actually, it's Morgan, isn't it? Was that actually Dan Morgan or Clayton? I can't tell.
It was Morgan. We both made a slip of the tongue.
Players.
As he finds Grimmin, who's had a pretty good game himself.
Grimmin's been really useful. You would think always that he was going to be good in this sort of weather. Now that ball's gone over the top. Ryan Webster's got the run on this here. He's handballed off. Very unselfish. Can he finish? Oh, he can't. Hits the post.
Well, you talk about effort, and he has been absolutely superb today.
He has.
Ryan Webster, one of the key performers in the dynasty that's become Terrigal Avoca.
Indeed. Dynasty being seriously challenged this year by our friends at Newcastle #1. That's a terrific mark there after a good pass by Ericsson, I believe. Jeremy Eddy, now he's kicked to a 1-on-4 here, and gee, that was hard at the footy. He wanted that football more than him. Good contest. The ball's still in play here.
Does well to keep that in.
Chris Eddy at ground level. Now, is there going to be a high free kick here? No, he's not going to give that. And we have a ball up forward flank, Combox side. Terrigal Avoca 78, Nelson Bay 23, 6 minutes 53 into the final quarter here at Dick Burwell Oval, where the weather has abated and we're getting a reasonably good standard game of footy, Alex.
Look, it's really important to say that even though the game, for all intents and purposes, is gone for Nelson Bay, they should be trying really hard to score as many as possible. And the more they kick this week, the stronger their base is for a fortnight's time. When they see it, they really do have the guts and the determination to stick with the top sides.
Correct. Almost could have been paid holding the ball there. It was a very good tackle. That ball will be out of bounds in the right forward pocket for Nelson Bay. As I'll go and move around so I can see a bit more of the play here. That's all right. No, that's your fault. It's just with the way that the windows are. No problems.
So we do see Nelson Bay presented with a scoring opportunity from this throw in here. If they could win the clearance, of course.
Third man up coming. Yes, there is a third man up again to negate Darling, and he actually wins the contest. Ball in dispute there, right in front of the goal. It's a very dangerous position to be, but calm heads prevail, and the ball's out there on the half-back flank now. Now, who's he kicking to there? No one in particular. Kingston's in the area, but he's not going to get there. Ericsson gets a handball off. That's an excellent tackle. Oh, he's paid.
Yeah, I think that's in the back.
Yep, fair enough. No problems. I thought he might have got him from the side. I think that's Jaden Reimer out there on the. It is. You can tell by the way he holds the footy. Jaden Reimer out there looking to go long here, and he is. He's got that to the top of the square. Barton, no, can't get there. Up before acceptances. Ball held in there. There will be a ball up coming, I'm assuming. It will.
Yeah, and just in terms of that free kick that Reimer earned there, if you get to the football first, if you get your head over the ball, you're likely to get all the decisions going your way, and he's become an expert at that.
As the wind picks up once more here in the middle of our East Coast storm cell, Grimmin grabs the ball down to the ground, gets the ball, does a very good job, has a bounce, very cheeky, looks for Betson again. He has been terrific, been the most dominant forward on the ground by a long way. He's got no one on the mark here, so away he goes. Gets the ball up toward the Kingston area, but no, 1 on 3, too many opponents for Kingston. And yes, good spearing pass there into Greg Smith, who's playing in number 69 today for Nelson Bay. Looks to give that off, and he does. Oh, good smother.
Grimmond again.
Grimmond again, Duval. Grimmond again. Webster at ground level. Looks to get away with an unorthodox hand pass, to say the least. Ball out of bounds, centre wing. 9 minutes 20 gone here in the final quarter. Terrigal Avoca 11-12. Nelson Bay 3-5.
We are starting to see the fatigue kick in a bit now, Dave. We're seeing both sides a little bit slower to the ball now. There's still a lot of determination, but there are some very tired legs out there.
Yeah, especially in this weather. Alex, couldn't agree more. That's out of bounds. Just in. Okay, I didn't see it that way. I thought that one might have actually bounced just inside the line, but the boundary umpire's called it. He's closer than me, so happy with the call. Yeah, so we're all commenting in here in the score box as to where the ball might have bounced, but the decision's made. We'll just move on.
We're commenting in air-conditioned comfort, I think.
We are. It's quite pleasant in here. Both timekeepers, good men, and love their football clubs, which is exactly what you want to see. Good tackle there. Now he's gone the banana. Unusual way to matriculate the ball forward, but he's done that. At the back now, can he kick the goal on the scrub? No, he can't. Point to Nelson Bay. They needed a goal there. So Nelson Bay 3-6-24. Terrigal Avoca 11-12-78. Alex, as the ball heads off towards Anna Bay, and they'll be back shortly.
Well, if they catch the right bus back, that might be, but. Look, they had every opportunity to score a major there, and again, that was one that was just a little bit rushed. If they had taken their time, sort of had a clearer head, they would have gone back, and it would have been a pretty straightforward sort of goal.
Yep, spot on. We move on. Kick out here to the combox flank. Darling, no, it's not Darling, actually. It's Reimer in contest for the football. That ball's going to go out, I would suggest. No, he's kept that in, has he? Yeah, oh, that ball's still in. Well done. Good contest. Reimer gets the football. He'll do something classy with it, as he always does. Pass up to one of the Eddie brothers. I think that might be Jeremy, and he'll get rid of that very quickly. Looking, I think, for Clayton. And now,
that's
that
really good.
He has got an excellent pair of hands and a very good leap for a small man, and can also use his left foot. Gets the ball forward, and a very strong mark there. Good use of the body, wasn't it, Alex? That was an excellent play. I think that's Chris, or is it Jeremy Eddie? It's certainly one of the Eddie brothers. That's Jeremy Eddie in 27.
Well, he's done really well to centre that from probably about 52 metres out, maybe a little bit more. And then he's given Eddie the best chance that he can to mark. Eddie didn't come too far off his man or anything like that. He just stood his ground. He goes back and he slots that. And Nelson Bay got something to show for their final quarter so far.
They do. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the past 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and that's hard to say with all those E's, Gary, and engineering services to our customers. Also proud sponsor of the BDAFL women's competition. Very good play there. Clayton superb there in the clinches, a terrific left foot kick and good use of the body. So good to see Nelson Bay back on the board in this quarter. Hopefully they can continue on, kick a couple more goals for their own confidence for their next game, as you've said, in 2 weeks' time, after the long weekend, June long weekend break.
Yeah. Look, Nelson Bay should not be getting dejected about their performance today. There's been a few things that they can work on, but there's nothing where they've disgraced themselves. There's been a few contests they might have been able to get to a bit stronger. Perhaps their team cohesion as far as stringing plays together could have improved, but all in all, they've put on a pretty good effort for a side that is the defending premiers. So it's always going to be very difficult for them.
Terrigal will be quite professional today. It's good smother by Darling there. Barton tries to get the ball off from ground level. Ball gets belted forward and comes straight back. Nelson Bay down this flank. Good use of the body there. Good contest. Again, he used the body by Scott Yule, but can't quite get the football. Ball gets stepped out. Scott Yule comes up for the third time and makes a good effort. A fourth effort there from Yule. Well done. Ball continues to be highly contested. Up. Good tackle once more on Billings by Jeremy Eddie, and that's very, very good committed football from Nelson Bay. We're 13 minutes into the final quarter and good efforts from some of them most senior players.
Absolutely, and we're seeing at the moment with that boundary throw in just how much play is being concentrated on the commentary side. We've seen probably less than half a dozen boundary throw-ins from the other side. That is testament to how tough it is with the weather conditions today.
Correct. Good mark, excellent mark in front, and away he goes. Oh, he steps him. Very impressive play there, Duval. But an ordinary kick. Oh, gee, the ball's gone straight through hands there. Can he make him pay? close. No, behind with the breeze. Nelson Bay moving forward to 4 goals, 7-31, with Terrigal Avoca 11-12-78. Terrigal Avoca haven't scored a goal this quarter in 14 minutes, so Nelson Bay, at least defensively, are really shutting them down.
Yeah, that's right. And Nelson Bay have been pretty good all day across their back and half-back lines. So if they can work on their scoring opportunities, they're going to be doing pretty well in the next few weeks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Good play there, good step. Beats the tackle and gets that ball down towards the half-forward line. It's a 2-on-2 contest. Barton was one of them in his white boots. Again, easy to pick from here.
Shortall hacks it to, not marked there.
Now, has he paid a throw? Or
yes, that is a throw.
Yeah, thank you. I thought he might have. I was watching on the screen there. Could just pick out something in the clinches. Ball gets into the hot spot. Betson underneath it. No, can't grab this one. Angus Clark, I think that is at ground level. Couldn't get the footy. Ball in dispute here. Comes out forwards for Nelson Bay. Scott Yule there. Good tackle. Good tackle again. Good contest. And this should be a ball up. Umpire's actually going along well, considering he was wounded earlier on. He's actually done a pretty good job. You can see that he's still struggling with that rolled ankle, so hopefully he can see the game out. He's done a very good job. Well,
he's in some pretty good company with Price and Dylan Stewart as far as the injured from today's performance.
You're right there, spot on. Morgan on the far flank here gets beaten to it by Jackson Farquhar, and the ball goes over again for a boundary thrown on the Combox side. This time in the half-forward flank for Terrigal Avoca. The scores are Terrigal Avoca 11-12, Nelson Bay 4-7, 15.5 minutes into the final quarter, Alex.
Well, with a loose man here, Terrigal Avoca will fancy themselves a chance at least creating a scoring opportunity, as we have a couple of air swings at the boundary throw-in. And it just spills out the back.
Webster.
Webster again. Pretty low kick, and right over the goal umpire's head. He's been in superb form today.
He has. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider, delivering a wide range of services to a diverse range of customers. For all your security needs, call Wilson Security on 1-300 Wilson. As soon as I saw him there in open pasture, you knew there was trouble. And at the quality player, he finishes beautifully to put Nelson Bay up in front. My apologies. Terrigal Avoca up to 12-12. Nelson Bay 4-7, Alex, as the ball gets transported back to the centre by the boundary umpires.
And I don't think that his success is any real secret. He creates plenty of time for himself. He doesn't get too rushed by anything. And he gives himself every opportunity to give himself the best option. So that's a really good sign of a great footballer, when they don't get rushed by any sort of pressure.
Very good player and an athlete and a smart footballer. Just a really smooth mover. Okay, back to the centre. Jay Lewis has got the ball at ground level here. Can he get a possession? He can. Touches the ball to the ground. Steps through tackles. Lovely play by Lewis. That is such a good play. Pity couldn't be finished off by a mark.
Finds Ryan Shaw.
From Ryan Shaw.
And
pushing the back, surely. It was. He's paid that. Umpire in perfect position side onto that particular contest. So it'll be a kick from approximately 40 to 45 metres out. And that's Doug Clark deep in the right forward pocket for Terrigal Avoca.
Look, as they say, you might call that a professional free kick, because if he hadn't given him a bit of a shove there, he would have been away for all money. I don't think he would have been able to be stopped. But with a bit of a push, and we don't encourage any sort of dirty play, it does allow him to go back from about the 50 at a fairly ugly angle. So
missed that one to the near side. Point to Terrigal Avoca, leaving them at 12-13-85. Nelson Bay 4-7-31, Alex. And interesting to see how this game finishes. We've got about 7.5-8 minutes left in the final quarter. Terrigal Avoca will be looking for more points, and Nelson Bay will have a couple more goals themselves. Darling in the contest, pushed out by Jaden Reimer, pretty blatant and crude, and paid. And Darling gets up and gives him a tap on the back there, representative teammates, of course. Angus Darling just in front of the centre wing, looking to put the ball deep into attack for Terrigal Avoca. In fact, he squares it slightly and looks for, not quite sure who he's looking for. Betson was at the back of the pack there. Right, I think that's Ryan Shaw. Is it Braden Kingston? Centres the ball unselfishly. And is he touched? I don't think that was paid. Man in front got hands on that one. So Grimmin at ground level. Gets that ball out. Screwed forward and a mark taken there. I think that is that Shortall again in front of the sticks?
It is indeed Shortall.
Yeah, he's had a good day in front today. He's heading off to looking at his third goal today, Alex, and been a very dynamic forward for Terrigal Avoca.
Well, the thing that I've noticed about Shortall today is that he's not even always marking in front. He's often behind. He's sort of caught behind his mark a lot of the time, and he still manages to stand his ground, and get the hands to it. So that's a goal for him there.
Pullman Magenta Shores Resort is an exceptional 5-star resort set on 52 acres on the New South Wales Central Coast. Nestled between the pristine waters of the Pacific Ocean, Tuggerah Lakes and surrounded by National Park, this resort has been designed to complement its spectacular location. This luxurious resort by Accor Hotels has been designed to offer guests everything: impeccable service, amazing on-site facilities, sophisticated dining options, modern villa-style accommodation and spectacular event spaces. Also proud BDAFL partner of the Run Against Violence program, which was here at Nelson Bay during the week. Look, 13-91, 60 points. I reckon that's a reasonable summation of the game here. I think Terrigal Avoca have been 10 goals better than them. They've just been too solid all day. And another goal to Shortall, I think that gives him 3. So he's been very solid for Terrigal Avoca. And what are we now? We're 19 and a half minutes into the last quarter. So good performance, good solid hit out for Terrigal Avoca. So up we go on the centre again.
Look, Dave, it is hard to say when a side gets done by 10 kicks that they've got a winning formula, but I think that they've got at least themselves on the right track. They've got plenty to build on in terms of their structures for next week, and I would say that they've given themselves a really good hope against some of the other sides in the comp.
Correct. Reimer again in the thick of things. He has been terrific today in a beaten side. Ball in dispute, and the central umpire will call that up just off the centre circle. Terrigal Avoca side. 20 minutes into the final quarter, Terrigal Avoca leading by 10 straight kicks. Up goes the ball, Darling again with Jaden Reimer this time, and Reimer wins with a terrific leap. Barton misses the ball, and off we go. Push out there from one of the Eddie brothers, I believe. Bell at the ground level puts a crudish tackle on, but doesn't get pinged for it. Jaden Reimer at the ground level. We've said that a lot today. Jeremy Eddie looks to the attacking pocket. Now, can he stay on his feet and keep the ball in, or is that going to run out of play? Unlucky there. We have a boundary throw in deep in the forward pocket for Nelson Bay, as Terrigal Avoca coach Chris Bishop prepares to come back onto the field in front of us here in the comm box.
It's great to see that he's in a condition where he can finish the game today, Dave.
Indeed, and I reckon Jay Lewis might have just got an early shower. He's giving everybody a high five. He's been a terrific player today. He's a prime mover in their side, and he's done a very good job. Boundary throw in deep in the forward pocket. Angus Darling again with Billy Barton there on the very far in the deep pocket, almost a push in the back, I would have thought, and it's been paid to Terrigal Avoca. I'm not quite sure who was at the bottom of the pack, but clear push in the back there. So relieving kick to come up here for Terrigal Avoca, leading by 60 points, Alex.
Yeah, and I think that the 60-point margin shows that it's been a pretty good team effort by Terrigal Avoca today. There's been a few standout performances, I'll say that much, but there hasn't been anyone who hasn't performed at all.
Danger.
That was not a great kick, I might say.
Jeremy will make him pay here, I reckon. Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
He's quality, Jeremy. So poor kick out there from Terrigal Avoca. Not kick out, from a free kick. And Jeremy Eddy picks up the crumbs and grabs the ball at ground level and makes them pay.
Yeah, Bond really wouldn't have been impressed with his own work there. So Prime 7 in 2016, Prime 7 has every big game live and free. Coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including Friday and Saturday night and Sunday afternoons. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Prime 7, very terrific supporters of football. Lots of good footy on Prime 7 every weekend. So as the ball gets transported back into the centre here, as the weather begins to look more ominous, I reckon we might be pretty glad we're not playing tomorrow, big fella. It could have been very interesting tomorrow, but we're going to get away with some good footy at a ground that handles the weather very well. It's in terrific nick. It's been good footy, actually, considering the weather really has been a good quality. I think this is Angus Darling against Yule again. It is. Darling's been superb in the ruck today. He really has. Away we go. Even money there. Good contest by Yule. Ball at ground level. Held in there. Gets good body strength. Reimer again. And that's Jeremy Eddy, I think. It is Jeremy Eddy. Ball comes out. Great tackle by Corey Billons. Holds the ball in. Not for the first time today, Alex. A ball up.
No, but as I keep saying, it's been really good that there hasn't been too many absolute stoppages in play. The umpire's been fairly slow to come in for the ball up, so it allows the ball to spill out of its own accord.
Indeed. Imperative here to stay on your feet. Damon Smith does that. Jimmy Webster with a rush left foot kick. Good contest there. Could have been an Nelson Bay free kick for holding the man. Runs straight into a tackle. Umpire was going to pay that and didn't. And Jack Grimman, who's been very, very good today, he's allowed to run away from the play. Oh, that's almost 50 metres. He's encroaching, but anyway, not paid. Ball at centre half forward in contest. Not for the first time today in tight. It's been one of those games today, ladies and gentlemen. Umpires have earned their quid today. Ball starting to move out. There's about 637 blokes around the football, and we get a ball up at centre-half forward for Terrigal Avoca, 24 minutes into the last quarter, Alex.
And we're seeing just how much slower the play is in this final quarter. Tired legs, the ball's not coming out as readily as it was before, so we see the ball up again.
Ball just goes out of bounds there. Could have been a mark there to Doug Clark, but just couldn't get the two hands to the footy. As the wind again starts to howl across, and Macaulay Minor to throw the ball in for us at the 50-metre arc. Not Angus Darling this time. Braden Kingston tries to put his weight into the contest. They're unsuccessful.
Oh, Reimer.
Man, has he been good in a beaten side.
He must have had close to 40 possessions today.
I would think
and
that's
then some, I
accurate.
would say.
Yes, yep, no question. And he's the other bloke that's been superb for me today, Angus Darling. Good defensive football there.
And that's the game as Terrigal Avoca emerged victorious, 13-13-91 to Nelson Bay 5-7-37. So a pretty comprehensive effort there by Terrigal Avoca today, but there's still plenty for Nelson Bay to take away from the game. Dave.
Goal kickers, Alex, for Terrigal Avoca, 3 goals Matt Shorter, 3 goals Jimmy Webster, singles to Ryan Webster, Jay Lewis, Brandon, in fact I think Jay Lewis may have kicked 2, but Jay Lewis 2, Brandon Serich 1, and in singles to Mitch Betchen and Chris Bishop. For Nelson Bay, 3 goals in a very good side performance in a beaten side, Jeremy Eddy, and singles to Luke Price and Aaron Clayton. Look, interesting game of football. Burwell Ovals should get an enormous credit for the way it's set up, for holding the water as well as it did and provided us with a good game of football.
Absolutely.
I think some of the most important things coming out of this game is some of the injuries to Nelson Bay. They've got some walking wounded, Luke Price in particular, Dylan Stewart. There were others, so they're really struggling after that. Hopefully the week off will do them the world of good. For Terrigal Avoca, and look, who were your? Thank you very much, Gary, for those. Look, who were your best players for Nelson Bay? Give me a few players at Nelson Bay.
Look, Price was very good until he had to go off. Dill Stewart was much improved on last week as fullback. He did miss a couple of leads, but you know you expect that when he's such a small player on a bigger, tall forward. And I'd also be looking at, of course, Jared Reimer, or Jaden Reimer, I should say. He was absolutely outstanding today, and I personally couldn't go past him for best on ground.
Yeah, look, I thought he was superb. For Terrigal Avoca, I thought that Jack Grimman was terrific at ground level. Jimmy Webber was classy. I thought their best player was actually Angus Darling. I thought he was dominant in the ruck, did a lot of good work at ground level. But there's no surprise that and Jay Lewis also was very auspicious. I thought that was the best game I've seen Jack Grimman play. And considering that Chris Bishop spent half the game wounded or on